Okay, we should be live. Let's just go through all the regular checks and then hopefully we can get going. Get the second screen in as well. Oh, no, hang on. There we go. That should be fine. Apparently the update means that they need to tell me how they use my data. As if that ever mattered to them in the past. Hello, Di. As soon as the second screen is up and running, we can load into the campaign and take stock of everything. And see what is what. Okay, second screen is up and it's just going through its thing. And we'll give it a little bit more time as well. Hello, Ricky. It's definitely a very janky setup that I have going on with how I have to use the television on the other side of the room for my second screen, but it's better than not having one at all. Hello, Alexandra. Yeah, that should be... Okay, yeah, that's fine. Anyway, we may as well load into the campaign game right now. And take stock of the situation again as the slow push grinds ever onwards. We might actually be able to make a little bit more progress this time, though. It depends on how quickly Isengard can build up, and it depends on how far I can push the current armies that I have. Which we should be able to at least take a settlement on the very first turn, I think, that we are here. And that may very well be a town which sees several battles in this part, because I imagine Isengard will want it back, because it does stick quite a long way into their territory as it stands at the moment. There'll be a little bit of border gore going on because of my taking of this, or at least the hopeful taking of this. And it's also very interesting how this campaign has turned into sort of north v south rather than east v west. But yes, here we are then. So just having a little look at the situation as it stands. I mean, there are quite a few Isengard armies that are still visible. However, not many of them are that large. The largest of which actually is this one over here, which is just, well, it's actually inside Onodirith, which is interesting. We have units over here which have already moved, but those are reinforcements that are very much close by. I think we've already moved all of the other armies that we could at this point, except for these units over here, which we can immediately start heading down here as well. A couple of horse archers and a couple of halberdiers, which will be useful against Isengard as long as we can get the engagements correct. This is something we need to worry about as well. Aldburg is here, and we do need to take that, because if we start pushing along over here, we run into the possibility of Isengard raising an army within Aldburg. Hello, Jasteep. But I think, to be honest, Aldburg is a city that we could be able to send like an army just like this down, just to siege it. Because at the very least, it would take a long time to take it by just sieging it out in that manner. But it would also prevent them from actually building anything there, and it would potentially maybe allow me to move on Edoras and perhaps a fort before that. We'll have to wait and see on that count, though. I've got a lot of money, actually. Speaking of which, there are no mercenaries able to recruit in this region. That's a shame. I was hoping that we could maybe use some mercenaries. No, I'm not going to leave Aldburg, Jasteep. I've been sloppy in the past in this campaign, and it's cost me really, really badly. I'm being thorough this time. Because they will start to like build up basic units from there and start harassing the south border that I've got. Let's see. Right, High March Warden Pollen Goldor the Defender. So I think to start with we'll go for some of the easier battles and go after this pair of armies here. It's slightly the easier of the two battles at any rate. There's only 287 of them, so it will actually pay to be quite aggressive to deal with the 287 first, and then turn around to meet potentially the 675. Oh yes, just before I forget. But how is everyone today? Doing well, I hope. Alright, this map, we start on the downhill, which is a bit of a shame, but it all rather depends this on where their reinforcements are coming from. If they're coming from over that way, which I don't think they will be, they'll be coming from behind, won't they, because of where the armies were positioned. So it is going to be... I mean, we'll be fine. This isn't a terribly important army right from the off anyway, because we will be able... This really is just to stop any sort of straggler armies from building up into a bit more of a doomstack type situation. And we have a fair amount of archers. Quite a lot of these units are depleted, but that's been the story of the campaign so far. We've been running on fumes for a while. Look at this, look. 2 gold chevrons and an attack upgrade on these Elven King's Gate Guard, but they're so depleted at this point. 5 Gerthinen. Right, spears are definitely the sort of thing that we need to keep with our archers, so that they don't get harassed by cavalry too badly. I'm good, Jasdeep. I'm very ready at this point to go back to doing something at university. I've been stuck in de facto lockdown for long enough. Right, they can go... We'll keep the javelins back because for some reason the AI just loves focusing down the javelins. Which is an advantage of the Gurvaleg, that they do the same job, only better, really. And they don't draw the ire of the AI quite as much as javelins, which is kind of strange. Would make playing as Rudour in a campaign fairly difficult, actually, if the AI is so hell-bent on attacking javelins in this manner. Ooh, those are berserkers, which is an excellent target. It's good that we're sort of pushing in on Isengard now, so they can't build up quite so many of these. These are upgraded berserkers as well. They've got the armour upgrade, but that should still not be too much of an issue for us. Our arrows should be sufficient. I've thought that about facing off against Isengard's armies before. For some reason, they're actually going in the opposite direction to their reinforcements as well, so this should in fact allow us to pretty effectively isolate each individual army here, which can only be a good thing for us. You keep following them. Cricket tournament is about to start in a couple of days, and my school is not going to open this year. Yeah, there's some weirdness going on with that, like the priorities given to different things. Right. Shoot at them. These are all of my archers bearing down on these berserkers. They are charging, well, they're moving towards me. Not all that quickly, but yeah, that's a lot of arrows coming in now. That should be enough to start whittling them down. Oh, thank you, Lewis. That's very kind of you. Something worth mentioning, actually, I may as well mention that now, is I have started a Patreon now, and I think the link is in the info below. Again, it's the sort of thing that I have been reluctant to do up until this point, but I figured because I do intend to keep the content going in the long term, it's not disingenuous really for me to start it up. But it is there, and it is worth saying as well that it is definitely sort of an optional thing. We'll move the horse archers back a little bit. Yeah, the Berserker unit model, before we start going into that, I'll show it up close. I mean, it is sort of like a slightly armoured version of the Berserkers, because I assume they were built in a place like Orthanc. But yes, the there is a Patreon that exists now, but like it is intended to be for sort of like small individual contributions, because again, I don't really have the intention of making, like, I've always been definitely against sort of pay to experience content, especially as it pertains to Patreon. Like, people who sort of lock content off behind Patreon, I don't really like. I feel as though Patreon should just be for people to just give you a hand, and that should be enough. Right, anyway, let's get these 3 units rolling forwards. Get our archers into a position ready to shoot the other army as it moves. Is this another unit of spears? We have got a decent amount of spears in this army, actually, haven't we? Right, actually, before we need to turn these boys off fire at will. It is noticeable that the sellswords are slower than the elven infantry, which you should perhaps expect, but still. Excellent. You go in here. Javelins. Didn't send up the gate guards because we don't want them to perish. That was a nice charge. Yeah, they're not going to last very long at all in there, are they? Marvellous. Oh, we've got to get our archers ready to shoot. Wait a minute, there's a unit in there that is... oh, swordsman.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Oh, get out of there. Okay, yeah, they should rout very quickly after that. And then we can get our cavalry around to the flanks over here and just do our thing. There are Isengard, there are crossbows. That's one of the enemy generals gone. Yeah. It is remarkable though, the hang on a minute before I get into that. Let's right, crossbows, let's go after them because I'm really not worried about them in melee. You get ready over there. But yeah, there is a Patreon now, which the link to which will be in the YouTube thing, but I'm not going to over-publicise it because I feel as though it should just be like an optional thing that's on the side. If people don't want to use the YouTube super chat, because obviously YouTube take a little portion of that for themselves, then it's always an option there. Because it doesn't really make a lot of sense for me to not do like a Patreon like that if people are going to give me money through the YouTube super chats anyway. So it was one of those things that I just needed to get over, really. Right, let's actually get you two shooting at them. Where be the javelins? Let's move you forwards. Lothlorien scouts. Yeah, it's not ideal, but it should be fine. We're engaging them in melee. Yeah, that's going to be good. They're getting caught on those raiders, which is not really what I wanted, but there we go. We're not going to take too much in the way of losses here either. Yeah, the crossbows are definitely what we want to kill first. It is interesting as well as we go down to half speed here, that our upgraded spears are more than sufficient to defeat the upgraded Orkmen Spear Guard, which you would certainly hope so, but they aren't the entry-level Isengard units, so we can still get some decent value off of our basic troops, which I think we will need because it is a numbers game at this point. Isengard are very large at this point in time. They are there like so, so you can actually shoot way back over there. Another charge, crossbows. Yeah, this should be good. And again, this is only to aid the fact that we don't want Isengard building up another large stack. So if we can keep their stacks to this size, even if our units do get depleted, we should be fine, really. Especially if we can get more of the stuff like the Sentinels of Caer Amroth out onto the field. Hello, knights. Good to see you. Do we need the cavalry at this point? Might be just a good idea to keep them in the back to catch any units that start routing. So I would imagine we're going to start to see a little bit more of that. Lost quite a lot of those Lothlorien warders, but that's fine. They were just there to sort of get in the way of the crossbows anyway. Sentinels of Caer Amroth. They should go down here actually. Get ready to assist against the Vanguard. Right. Actually, yes, we can... Lothlorien warders can go after the Vanguard as well, and our cavalry units can chase down the Orkmen spears. Perfect. Or at least as perfect as we can hope to get. Actually, you can get into the crossbows now that I think about it. Yep, they're in there. Sentinels of Caer Amroth are moving in. Crossbows are pretty hardy in melee as well, which perhaps you should expect. What have we got going on back here? Woodland Sentinels. Wait, they are still in skirmish mode. That's not what we want. I do like the look of the Sentinels of Caer Amroth up close as well. And the fact they have a shield does actually give us a reason to keep training them, even if we can bring in like the Galathrim units exclusively. Oh, those are the crossbows. We definitely need to chase them down. Yeah, surround the Vanguard. Get after them. And get our horse archers ready. It's remarkably easy to level up cavalry in Med 2. With how you can just chase down units at your leisure. There's another unit of spear guard there. No, we've got to continue the battle. No, don't get into melee with them. What are we doing? Go after the spear guard first, because all of this infantry is continuing to kill off the Vanguard. Excellent. A very by-the-book start. Not too much in the way of losses. Definitely not the sort of thing that's going to cripple us moving forward. But the next battle is going to be the important one, you would have to say. Because next time we're going to try to, well, literally in the very next move we make in the same turn, we're going to be trying to take one of Isengard's forward settlements. Probably not Shogun 2 replays Jasty, but I would be open to the idea of doing a modded campaign in the fashion that I did previously. Technically the first campaign I did on my channel, really. But I was forced to stop it after an update came along and rendered my save incompatible, which is a bit of a shame. But I do feel as though Shogun 2 is definitely a game that has a better campaign as well. The multiplayer is fine, but it's very fast and furious. And with mods, it really does benefit from the campaigns. I have to say I'm not the biggest fan of Rome 2 or Attila, if I'm being brutally honest. Still, our heir picks up a good victory there. I know that Rome 2 has gotten better, but something about the gameplay and the visuals of Rome 2 just don't quite sit right with me. They're just not my favourite. Hello, Sonation. We'll definitely execute all of them. That should be both of those armies gone, and it is. Good. How much further can we actually move, I wonder? Well, that's somewhat interesting actually. We could move over with this same army and try to make something happen. Well, no, I think we will. How many archers have we got here? So we've got 3 for the general's bodyguard. We've got Gorvaleg, which, to be honest with you, makes Isengard's job at defending in a town kind of difficult because I can just lay them to waste potentially. Let's just save it there a second just in case. But we will, I think, use Celeborn's army for this, and we will assault immediately. Hello, Welts. What do you think of ranger units being removed from Reforged? Well, they're not being removed entirely. They're being drastically reduced, which I think is the right move, to be honest. Units like the Grey Company get to keep it, and I think a couple of others. But I think it's correct, honestly. I think there are other ways you can make a lightly armoured archer like a ranger still worth it. You could give them armour-piercing arrows, potentially. Or you could just give them really high base damage and make them good in melee. Make them a sort of hybrid unit in that fashion, which I do think would probably be the best move. Right. We have a catapult in this army, which is something else that's worth celebrating. Right. The ballista is the thing which we will absolutely need to knock down the gates first. Cavalry over on this side. They do have reinforcements coming in after all. Spears. Let's keep it, because I don't know quite where their reinforcements are going to be coming from, but let's keep a dense formation to start with. We will keep, I think, our Galathrim guards further forward just to help defend our artillery piece, and we'll do the same with the catapult for the Yavanna's Chosen. Actually, we'll move that back. We don't need that to be quite so far forwards. All of the ranger units will still be there, I assume. They just won't have the body piercing, which is the right move, I think, for the sake of the mod. I mean, to be honest with you, like a Reforged campaign is the sort of thing which is going to be hard to balance with some of the units that they've got in there in the way that they function now. Because if you think about it, imagine what having access to some basic rangers would have done for me in this campaign, but especially imagine what having a unit of multiple HP knights would have done for me in this campaign. Like, honestly, you can solo armies with cavalry like that with relative ease, and obviously that makes certain campaigns trivial. So I do wonder how they're going to address that, honestly. It might be that you can only have like one of them throughout your entire realm, which, you know, is sort of like your ruler's bodyguard, which would make sense. Hello, Isaac. Are they still on fire at will? No, they're not. Neither are they. Neither are they. Neither are they. A lot of archers in this army, actually.
The enemy are bringing in reinforcements.
They're going to come out of the gate? Probably not. No, they will retreat. Right, they've got wargs, so this is their reinforcing army. It always looks scarier when you see it on the overworld map to see reinforcing armies from the orcs, because they have significantly greater numbers than you, but you realise that that's bound up in fewer units. So 2 raiders. The crossbows are a potential problem, admittedly. Like, we will probably take damage doing this, but we can always transition some of the units from Pollen Goldor's army in here to try and help hold on Odirith. That's the Great Hope. You missed all of them? Really? Unfortunate. Right, let's just wait until the gates are gone. Makes me think of Galu's Dol Amroth campaign. Self-appointed terrible cavalry player using 1 unit of cavalry to wipe out enemy. Well, yeah, quite so. And in Reforged, that would be easier with the way that Lance Knights work. You've seen the devastation that a charge can cause. That's in multiplayer, and human players are always going to be better at trying to counteract cavalry charges like that. Oh, we have got units incoming. Shoot at them. Let's get some Lothlorien scouts over here. they're on the wrong side. That's a shame. Yeah, this is going to go real bad for them. Might be even easier for evil factions, actually, come to think of it, because Champions of the White Hand and Melkor's Chosen and those sorts of units can do the same thing, but they combine it by being able to really easily counteract enemy cavalry as well. Yeah, they are getting absolutely ripped apart. There goes the reinforcing general. Galathrim guards doing their thing. Alright, there come the reinforcements. The wargs are broken. Alright, no need to continue to hang around there. Right, how best to handle this? Right, what is this unit that's coming around immediately? Right, yeah, those are the crossbows. So actually, with that, we will utilise the cavalry once more, I think. I don't think we've got too much of a choice there, because we don't want to let them get into range. And the crossbows outside the walls anyway can be a bit of an annoyance. Inside we can just use our catapult and our own archers and the like. And they are just going to completely ignore the fact that my cavalry is charging towards them, which I'm all too happy to see. There we go. Probably get a little bit of friendly fire there, but they're already shaken, which is good for us. In fact, you know what? We may as well just charge them into oblivion. There's still one of them left in there. So I would hope. Individual units getting picked off like this. Horse archers probably won't do as good a job, but need to retrain this unit of cavalry as well. It's got... oh, hello. Don't let them get back inside. Right, do they have anything else coming around the outside? They do! How nice for us. And they should be even easier to kill off, because they are just raiders who for some reason don't have their marching sound effect. Which is a little bit strange. That's them pretty much all gone, I would imagine. Right then. A lot of chevrons on our cavalry already. Can actually, I think, start trundling our catapult through as well, or forwards. Again, slow and steady will win this race against Isengard now, because if we can continue to maintain our manpower as we push forward, there is nothing to fear at this point from their armies, I don't believe. Unless they suddenly come out of nowhere with a full stack of Nars Kai, I think we should be okay with reinforcements on the way. What have we got here? A few of these raiders are dying. I mean, we may as well use our horse archer ammunition on this unit actually, because so much of Isengard's roster is going to be very, very resilient to the kind of damage that horse archers can do at range. Raiders are probably one of the few units we can actually kill reliably with arrow fire, even from the front. That's going to block off the charge of my more impressive unit, which is sad times for us. That's enough to break them. Wow. I guess their general did die. But that is unfortunate performance there from the Uruk-hai Raiders. Let's get you off fire at will. Where are you going? Oh, get them. You can go around the other side though, because the other unit of Uruk-hai Raiders is also going to try and circumvent the situation. It's still not going in the right direction. That's annoying. Classic Med 2. Oh, they're back. And that should be enough to rout them again. Why are they doing that? That's bizarre. Unless there's like one banner carrier who's on the other side. That might be him actually. Right, the Hith. going to have to do this the old-fashioned way by just sort of bumping into them. Not that a unit like that is going to be much use in the late game anyway, and we just absolutely eviscerated them by going through them like that. Right, good. I have been thinking about what to do for my next campaign as well, and I think I do actually have a personal favourite. The difficulty in using cavalry is when you're also commanding the rest of your army. Controlling just one unit, yeah, I mean, that's the difference. That's one of the reasons why I always get quite perplexed when a player doesn't do a very good job in a very simple siege, because you only have one area of the map to focus on and one thing to effectively do. Whereas if you're on a field battle, I'm far more... like, it's far easier to see how a player could potentially go wrong. Because you have a lot more to focus on and things are happening very quickly. Things that I see, for example, someone else may not see in real time during the battle. These raiders are in for a bad time. A nice charge there. It'll be an even better charge from the side though. Yeah, that's the good stuff. Hello, Drew Shottis. Good to see you. Things are going pretty well at the moment. Busy trying to break off these units here. We haven't lost a single one of our lancers so far, but Isengard have done an absolutely miserable job at trying to keep their raiders in a formation that would be good against cavalry. You know what? We won't need to use this. Our cavalry is only warmed up as well. This is what we like to see. Yeah, they're trying to get away. I may very well have pronounced your name wrong, yes. It's interesting how there are some languages that I can pronounce reasonably well, but there are quite a lot that I can't. French is always something that I've struggled with, the French pronunciation of things. Like it doesn't mesh with my accent at all. But like surprising things like Arabic or something like that, if someone tells me how to say something, like I can actually get to grips with it reasonably quickly, which is strange because it's like very different to my own language. Dole Emerald Cavalry is the best in the game. Even elite units can get trampled if you get a good charge to the side. Right, anyway. The reinforcement army has basically yielded the enemy nothing, which is exactly what we want to see. Have we indeed? Right, well, we don't need to go any further in. Cavalry back. Archers and artillery forwards. You two go over to this side. Actually, you can go with them as well. And yeah, why not? 2020 gonna be wild. Le Français. Perhaps it's just like nature for someone from England to not be able to pronounce French properly. It was always destiny. Ardenheim Armsmen. Yeah, they're the upper tier of the Black Numenorian units, aren't they? May as well go after the raiders again, to be honest. Like they're easier to kill anyway. Get our catapult around here actually. There's no real point going after stuff like Uruk-hai infantry or crossbows, I've learned. Even with my strongest archers, they just don't do enough damage to be worth it. Even the Orc men units, to be honest with you, are resilient enough to the point where there's a very real case for saying that you should not bother going after them, even though they don't have shields and the like. Yeah, they're getting shot good though. Another unit of raiders we can potentially go after. A lot of it is raiders. There's a few more units back here as well. Yeah, like Orkmen, Bane Guard. You just start shooting, I guess. And get after him. Try and shoot with what little remains of our ballista as well. Right, what do we have infantry-wise? It might be best actually to utilise these two first and foremost, because they could break Uruk-hai raiders, I think, pretty easily. They're going to fire. But they're firing into the air a little bit too much for my liking. Yes. I do have to admit I like the French accent though. What are they doing here? 3 Warg Marauders, like come on please. You're not exactly bringing your A game here, are you lads? You know what, just kill them, would you? Put them out of their misery, there they go. Right. Now pull back. Orkmen. We do actually want to be a little bit careful of that. But now that they're coming outside, we can actually potentially get to use our cavalry once more. It's not ideal going after the Orkmen for the reasons that I said, but we can still potentially do something with this. Oh, they went forward way too far. Okay, we're going to have to go forward quickly. Oh, hello. It's a good thing that I noticed this, but it's also very interesting that they have decided to completely ignore my catapult by doing this. Very strange indeed. Right. It's time to get down to business in melee, I guess. They're going to take a little while to get moving. We can completely surround them. They're running away by the looks of things. Actually, yeah, get back over here. I want to be a little bit careful with them, actually. Okay.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Do we have cavalry nearby? Try and break off these. Archers in Dak are really not that good against Isengard, but they can be pretty. Yeah, they can be good against wargs, which is it's nice that that's still a familiar touchstone. Hopefully, we don't lose any of our generals in this battle. We shouldn't, but you never can tell. Right, is there anything we can actually use our catapult on? Sure, just go after them. I'm not shooting point blank into into that. It's got disaster written all over it. That's a... could do better. Yeah, they're doing their thing. I think we hit them. And this should be decent to kill off a few more of them. Indeed it was. That was enough to actually completely shatter, well, shatter any chances they had at being useful anyway. There goes their general. Again, just got to be slow and steady. That wins the race. Right. Don't worry about them anymore. The Athenan are doing their thing. Right, you. Keep shooting at them. I think that yeah, their entirety of that unit over there got finished. Go after the raiders. Over the Hith. Might not even need to use the Govaleg at all. Which is interesting. How do you enable the general death cutscene? I've got no idea. I've had it on always by default. I think actually, I think WK did tell me how to do that once. Or was that the particle effects? Can't quite recall. Raiders? 1 Uruk-hai bodyguard. Yes, they will continue to get shots. Still have a decent amount of ammo actually. Try and shoot at them. Sure. See, look at this. Like, I've been shooting at these guys with arrows for a little while at this point, and very few of them are actually dead. It just, like the old preconceptions about shields in Reforged. Shields do still make a difference. That is part of what Medieval 2 is based upon. But the armour values of DAC are such that they take precedence. Athenan. Definitely been a personal favourite of mine throughout this campaign. More useful against Dol Guldur, I have to say. Actually, shoot at them. Might be a little bit more useful. Also, you go backwards a little bit. Get our cavalry into position. The Galathrim guards will be able to just massacre the Orkman. Oh, now they're going after the cavalry. That's annoying. Oh, they're coming back. Should be a good opportunity to see the Galathrim guards do their thing as soon as we phase back in over there. What is this? Was a unit trying to go around the edge of the map, I notice, yes. Right, you would hope that this is going to be a thoroughly one-sided affair. It should be even more so once we apply some cavalry to the situation. Balance of forces evenly matched. See, that's like a little bit disappointing in terms of halberdiers in this game. Defeat. That should definitely be the case once the cavalry comes in. Not the best charge, but okay, if we go over this way. Ooh. Can we not go that way? Only a few of them died. They, I think, got routed after a direct hit. Ivana's Chosen can go in there. Your archers are mostly arcing their shots and missing a lot. Well, yeah, but they're on flat ground against the Orkman. And it's not just this battle where the Orkman have been very, very resilient. But yeah, they're broken now. Good. That's the end of them. Don't let them get away. Few of the Galathrim guards died. But such is life, I suppose. Right. Part of this is just trying to maintain the amount of manpower I have right now. Because I know that Isengard are going to try and attack me and take this back. So if I can keep something of an army intact for that, it will greatly help us. Right, what do they actually have left? Probably not a great deal, right? Yeah, not a lot at all. They still have... Well, it looks like they've got a fair few units, but a lot of them are extremely depleted at this point. That's a shame. Right then, having a look. Yeah, these archers should probably maintain their position. Okay. Let's get the Gorvaleg in. Actually, no, let's use our generals, because they really won't be harmed by what's left, and they will respawn. Do you get the hidden E-Dower from Mirkwood? No. I get the 4 units I get from Mirkwood are the Elder Council here, armor piercing, which is useful against Isengard. the woodland horse archers, which have proven themselves to be a worthwhile addition because it just gives me the ability to pick and choose my fights a bit more. There's the woodland sentinels, which are like the higher end archers, which are a bit like the march wardens but without a shield on their backs, and the Elven King's Gate Guard, which are very strong, to be fair. I assume they're on the same level as my Galathrim units. The only body piercing unit I have are the Gorvaleg, which, to be fair, I'm happy enough with that. You can't really complain about having a unit that's capable of dishing out that much damage, even if they're a little bit awkward to use. Go up to ×2 speed. Interesting they didn't have that many heavily armoured units in here, actually, which leads me to believe they were trying to recruit an army of raiders and lower end stuff in here. They didn't really have anything in the way of crossbows and the like. They only had one Uruk-hai bodyguard, which was like very quickly dealt with by Celeborn and his posse. Not complaining about that though. The more raiders they have, the more useful my archers are going to be. I don't think I'll even need that much in the way of reinforcements, to be honest. And then we could actually send Pollen Goldor down south to start sieging Aldberg himself. Multi-shot arrows. No, their body piercing is still there, Val. At least the amount of damage they do would suggest it is. They've only got like 3 or so volleys, but they can devastate an entire unit if the unit is positioned well and set up for it, which suggests that the body piercing is a factor, because otherwise they just wouldn't be able to... otherwise that wouldn't have as much of an impact, because you would only need to hit one unit, really. I doubt they'd be so effective against trolls either. Okay. You go there. And this should be enough, honestly, for us to... There is still a general unit over here, apparently. It's that one warg. Could we not do that? Try and hit that warg with the catapult. Sure, we'll go after him with... actually, no, we'll go after him with the Lothlorien scouts. They'll be better at that job.
Our men have taken control of the city.
They can't retreat from this fight, I'm afraid.
We've lost control of the city.
Could probably try and... Yeah, we are in range of him. Scarcely will you see a more one-sided fight, I think. Lothlorien scouts. I think he died immediately, actually. Maybe that shouldn't be too surprising. Anyway. Archers really should do a lot more damage to trolls. 21 losses. Well, apparently they are supposed to be the counter to trolls in DAC, but that hasn't really been my experience in this campaign so far, if I'm being honest. I don't know about that, Val, because when I was looking at the when I was actually deciding who to play as in the when I was looking through the faction overviews that Arakia did, when he referred to the Gorvaleg, he said body piercing, and that was for 4.5, which is this version. So I'm not so sure about that. Right, Honor Dirith will be ours. Right, we will occupy. We got a mission success, 2,000 gold coins. Things are looking a little bit rosier for us at this point. Right. Let's see, what do we actually want to do with our ill-gotten gains? We want to repair something. Yeah, we want to repair that. We also want to build an armory so we can continue to move forwards when the time is right. Right. Also, how many units can we fit in there? Right, we're going to send the Gerthinen over here because we can combine them with one of the units. Get them off our books. Sellswords? They would be like, this is an army I think that does need a little bit more in terms of infantry. And all I really need for this army down here is spearmen. So let's go for getting the sellswords up here, and let's also get a unit of spears up here. So that should be enough to hold them. And I think we will actually move down here with Pollen Goldor so we can take Aldburg. Keep an eye on that. One thing that I also want to do is we've got 3 generals, or 2 generals actually. How many did I already start to move a general? Because what I would really like to do... Okay. You two, we're just going to actually disband you. Actually, you will keep because you're 3 gold chevrons, but one of you two, you I think, we are going to move out of there so that we can get another governor down on the front line. Trolls are really weak in DAC. They cost like 2,500 gold and die from 1 javelin volley. Isengard get trolls, yeah. We fought them in the last patch. Well, last patch. We fought them in the last stream. They're not called Trolls of the White Hand, but they are decked out in the Isengard plate. Right. So, is there anything else we can actually buy? We're already training units up here. We can't build Lothlorien units yet here because we need to increase the culture. But I think also we need to get an armourer because that will be useful. Karas Galadon I think is already building something. Yeah, crop rotation. Limb here. Archery range, good. Communal farming. Dirt paths. Dorlingvar. Is there anything we can build economy wise over here? Oh, we can upgrade this. Okay, we will do so. Upgrade to a large town. I think Rockburg is just destined to be a hovel forever. A war-torn, broken little town. Merchant's Wharf is busted, so we don't need that. Armourer, archery range, studio, crop rotation. Yeah, we'll leave that for the moment, I think, actually. Because we may need to dump a whole bunch of money into recruitment and the like. No, they don't get superior trolls, Val. But the fact that they can armour up their trolls is probably just as good, to be honest with you. Gives them that extra bit of rigidity. We haven't encountered stuff like the Ola... Actually, no, we have encountered the Olakai, haven't we? In one of the Mordor invasions. They were a real pain. Go on then, Isengard. What are you going to pull out of nowhere this time? Yeah, they're starting to try and gather up a singular strong army. Interesting to see where they go with that. Need to get Pollen Goldor down to Aldburg, but I also need to sort of get ready to... If you want to attack like that, then you're more than welcome. Harad haven't had their Doomstack spawn yet, so they can't be getting completely crushed. Right, take Aldburg. Well, what a coincidence. We'll do that in just a second. Where's the nearest river crossing down here? That looks like it. Yeah, there's a road. Okay, well, we'll keep moving you down there. Yeah, that's a bridge. You... Ah, right, actually. this is a good opportunity for us to do a few things. Right, let's combine you. We need to combine a few units actually to get the most out of things. Right, we're going to send you, as useful as that unit of cavalry was, having the more numerous cavalry is just as good, to be honest. So we've got 2 spots, we need 2 more to get all of that goodness. You. Oh, your spears. Combine. And you actually we're going to send back to retrain as well. That is now a strong army with more infantry and 2 units of Gorvaleg. This little force over here is also pretty substantial actually. So definitely a good thing that we've got all of these reinforcing armies on the way down. Yeah, things are looking okay now. Things are really looking up. So we'll go for a Builder's Guild House, I think, here, because we'll want to. We're never going to lose Tirith Anduin. At least that's definitely not the plan. Right, yeah, we don't have siege weapons in this army, so we will need to. Hold on a moment. How many can we maintain a siege? We'll see what this army does, because I imagine it'll probably want to come up to Honor Dirith, but they're going to get ruined if they try and do that, to be honest with you. So I'm all too happy to oblige them. They're still training. Yeah. Reinforcements are on the way. Isengard were giving Bree the business in the last part as well, but Bree still have their doom stacks to spawn if they really start to struggle. Although having said that, Bree I think are the weakest faction in the game, aren't they, in terms of their roster? Because at least, like, I know Moria suck, but like they can vomit out units really, really quickly. Bree, on the other hand, are just like not all that. No, they're coming down here, aren't they? They're gonna try and go after my army that are heading towards Aldburg. Yeah, look at this. Looks like we are going to have to pull back from Aldburg for the time being. But that's fine. Like, instead, we could just go straight for Edoras. Yeah, they're starting to panic now. Look at all of the all the armies they're sending over this way. Thing is, though, if it comes down to a fight, even if we can't auto-resolve any of these fights, the One Ring has been located. Oh well, good thing it's nice and close then. Tell me something useful next time. Right, they're coming down here, so yeah, we're going to have to lift the siege. Yes. And we'll go this way. We'll wall up in Entwade as well, I think. That should give us... Yes, we should be fine there. Get a unit in there. Right, Lorien March Wardens. Yeah, they need to go all the way back up this way as well. Heading down here. Get an armory in here as well. We still can't actually build anything as such. That's a pretty big army there. See, there's the trolls, and I guarantee when we get into battle with this army, we'll be able to see the Isengard armour. Having said that, they don't have the armour upgrade, apparently. Or they might, and we just can't see it, to be honest. Shows us the portrait. They probably should. Unit coming down this way. They've already been moved. Can we retrain that unit yet? No. 0 units available for retraining. What about you? Surely we can retrain you. Yes. And up here, can we build? We can build. Right. There was something over here. A builder's guild house, yes. Well, actually, just crop rotation will be fine for now. They're building communal farming as well. Okay, let's just see what Isengard do. Well, I could maybe try and sally out here, to be honest with you, and deal with this Isengard stack, because it's not all that, and we've got far too much for them. Well, they've got another army there, but I'm doing this. I thought there was 2 armies there, but even so, it's not really. Like, the settlements that we're defending in aren't actually that amazing to defend in anyway, because they're all flat and very open. The AI can't attack them very well either, to be honest, but I don't want to sort of bottle myself up to be easily dealt with by the enemy artillery. So let's see what we can get moving here. With our own artillery, we can actually retreat into our shell a little bit. Hello, Calvin. Good to see you. Right, you guys can go over here. Right, Goveleg can go right here at the back. They can go actually behind the general's unit, and we can commit them as and when needed. We got rid of the other one, didn't we? Yes, we did. Okay. That's actually okay. We actually are a little bit less reliant on archers in this army now, which I do like. Right, cavalry can go over on this side. And that is our only 2 units of cavalry we have, since we cycled the other ones off. Right, infantry. Well, javelins as well. Javelins can stay at the back, because they're just going to get focused again if I utilise them in any respect, really. Right. Got a real patchwork army here of units of all different types, but such is the way of things, I suppose. Right.
The enemy are bringing in reinforcements.
Yeah, we should be fine, especially seeing as they're split up, such as they are. Oh yeah, we should probably go after them. Yeah, they're going to try and go after my general. They're going to succeed if I'm not careful. Uruk-hai archers, you actually insult me. Actually, we can go in a little bit further, because I doubt they're going to come out of their shell either. Ah, perfect. This is the type of content I like to see. One of the enemy catapults falls already. Oof, that was close for another one as well. What am I doing? I should be on standard shots. They're getting ruined. That was another one falling. Yeah, we'll just use the ballista for that actually. Why not? Already things are going reasonably. Actually, you can fire into them. Light work. Cavalry can stay close. Yeah, surely by now they're probably starting to panic, right? Have we killed off their the entirety of that catapult? We have. Do the same to the ballista, if you please. I'm actually quite tempted to not even bother with that, to be honest, because they are trying to shift around a whole bunch, so we're just going to fire in. I'll pay the ultimate price with my general, probably, but such is the way of things. Let's go in with our archers, our horse archers as well. Their reinforcements will get here soon enough. Have you discussed Patreon yet? Yeah, I have got a Patreon now, and the link is in the description. I and the justification for that really was the fact that, you know, seeing as YouTube has the super chat thing active, I mean, if people are going to be giving me money anyway, it makes sense to have something which is maybe a little bit more less YouTube interference, I suppose. Hello, Rydian. Yeah, it's been something. It's been an interesting campaign, if nothing else. Right. Actually, yeah, come forward. Go with a leg can come in. Right, wargs are on the way now. Right, yeah, at this point we should... but yeah, Patreon is a thing now. The link will be in the video. I'm not going to sort of overly publicise it. It's just going to be sort of there in the description of like videos and streams from now on. And if people want to contribute, then obviously I'm not going to be displeased by that. But it's not supposed to be the sort of thing where it's going to give you like certain benefits, because like I said, I'm not really a huge fan of sort of locking off content behind like Patreon and stuff like that. I've never really been a big fan of that. So yeah, but it is something there, and it's about time I sort of got with the times a little bit in that regard, I suppose. My hang-ups were a little bit silly, I suppose. Oh, the enemy ballista is still active by the looks of things. It's a bit of a shame. Right, what are we doing? There's the other... Where's the other Goverleg? Right, there they are. They should go this way. Artillery's still doing its thing. Shoot the Uruk-hai archers. Gerthinen. Yeah, shooting point blank into them. Actually be a little bit careful of that. Uruk-hai crossbows as well. Yeah, get into them. How are they getting shot? What are they getting shot by? Well, regardless. Yeah. I am going to think of something, I think, for... Obviously, when it comes to Patreon, I don't want to just sort of have it be sort of just this shadowy thing. I want it... Like, if people do contribute, then I do want to do something in that regard, but it won't be sort of, like, exclusive content, as you were. They're infighting. Good. Yeah, they're fighting. All the good stuff. That's what we like to see. Actually, that's a good point now. Is the ballista down? No, they're still alive. That's a shame. It hit a unit. Not quite what I had in mind, but it hit them. Shoot them. Galathrim guards can go over here. I definitely don't want them getting shot up by crossbows. Ivana's Chosen can actually do the same. And the rest... You can get ready to actually... In fact, it might be worth our while at this point to be a little bit more aggressive. We'll give it a little bit more time. How is your name pronounced? My name? What, you mad commander? If I could restart everything all over again, I wouldn't have the same name, I must say that. But it's what I'm recognised for now, so such is the way of things. Hello, mediocre. They are going to charge just right on in, right up the pipe. In fact, if they're going to do that, get our Yavanna's Chosen in behind. What are they actually going after? My archers? Or the Goverleg? Right, we're actually going to go up and around the back with both our units of Gorvaleg, I think. Right, we've got Dunlending Horsemen. Interesting. Right. No, it's not ooh. At least it wasn't intended to be. Ooh, wargs coming in. That's less than ideal. Didn't realise they were coming forward quite so aggressively, but it's not the end of the world. We've got our Elder Council on station, and actually they're not charging right on in. It's a little bit crazy. We can deal with them pretty easily. Archers, or generals I should say, would be those are Lothlorien warders. What are they doing? That charging into quite comfortably my strongest unit. A truly bizarre decision made by one not in sound mind. Right, with units coming forward, let's go over here with you. What are you getting shot by? Actually, yeah, we'll keep you back, I think, because they're targeting you down and we want to keep you alive if at all possible. They're routing, they're shaken. They very unsurprisingly routed in the face of all those halberds. Hello, Duncan. Right, Lothlorien archers still doing their thing. Right, sellswords. Yeah, now is when we want to be pushing forward. Now is the time. Oh, that wasn't right. Okay, get you along here like so. Berio e Engalaith are going over here. What about the you're in skirmish mode. A lot of crossbows still here, which we don't like. Definitely want to be dealing with them as quickly as possible. They're actually in and amongst my artillery, which is making life a little bit difficult. But we've got like Elven King Gate Guard and stuff over here, so there shouldn't be too much in the way of problems. Right, that should be the beginning of the end for them. Ooh, God, that's not what we want at all. Right, can we please get rid of these Dunlending horsemen? They should have routed a long time ago. Right. If they really want to go into... Oh, there's berserkers in there. That's probably why we're having a little bit in the way of issues. Okay. Yeah, this is not going to go... I mean, they might do some damage off the charge, which is frustrating. Or will they? No, they just got skewered. Excellent. That's what we like to see. Right, Lothlorien warders should be moving forward. You should be getting into them. You should be getting into them. Right, whatever happened to... Right, could we not be... Ah, right, they're routing, that's why. They are routing en masse. We charge into them. Definitely a very chaotic battle, this one. Lots of units spread out all over the place, but quality once again is going to be the difference between the two sides. Again, I'm really not sure why the wargs decided to tackle the Galathrim guards head on, but I'm not complaining about that. The Gorvaleg aren't body piercing. Arakir must have gotten that wrong then, because he definitely said that they were body piercing. Right, let's just keep moving forwards, shooting as we go. Right, the berserkers should be dealt with. Gate guard should be more than sufficient to deal with them. Yeah, that's good. Those wargs are on the verge of their demise. Crossbows are routing. Should be ready to try and at least hunt all of these units down.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Good. Crossbows. Yeah, actually, you get over there. Actually, no, those archers are going to shoot at you point blank, aren't they? Get into them. That ballista is still firing as well. If they can scarcely miss from that close as well. Yeah, we need to do something about that ballista. Right, that one warg is finally routing. Thank you, Calvin, that's very kind of you. Berserkers will continue to fight indefinitely, I would imagine. Right, yeah, we just need to push on through here to go after that ballista. All of these routing units are in the way. Even in routing, they're actually being a bit of a pain. Push through. Now just target them. Get after them. There we go. That'll be fine. Lothlorien warders are pursuing something. We don't need to worry too much about that. Those guys are leaving the vicinity. Right, the ballista is gone now, so we can start chasing down other things. And ensure that these two armies never see the light of day again.
The enemy army flees the field. Pursue and run them down.
Quite a few units scattered throughout the field, but nothing that ultimately took too much in the way of damage. Good. Get after them. Horse archers will continue to really rack up a kill count. It is interesting how both of our, how Rumil and Orofin are actually not 3 gold chevrons yet. Yeah, with Gorvaleg and with artillery, we should be absolutely fine moving forwards. They are going to perish. Go after them. Don't need to kill absolutely all of them off, just enough to the point where this army doesn't return. So yeah, there's only 5 of them. Killing off those reavers as well should be enough to ensure that nothing survives. And I think that is ultimately going to be that. Just the one guy left. There he goes. Then go after them. There's actually a unit still going around over there as well. And that should be all she wrote. What's this unit we've got going to the edge of the map over here? Oh, it's a unit of spears. There's actually some crossbows over here that we probably should have dealt with before, but no matter. All is not lost. And that will be the end. Horse Archer got demolished somehow. It's because I had to send them in against wargs. But that's not the end of the world. Like, Horse Archers are nice to have, but they're not the backbone of the army. Yeah, we lost some, but worthwhile just to make sure that they can't gather up a nice army. If we keep them on the back foot, we'll be fine. Altberg does need to really be the next town we take, though. If we get you 100 patrons, would that make a dent in my student loan? Well, I think, considering it's technically £9,000 per year, it would take quite a lot, to be honest, to pay off my student loan off my own back. But what I will say is, because of the way that student loans actually work in the UK, it's not something that I have to pay back in a lump sum. It's effectively something that I get taken off. The way that they do this, to be fair, isn't so bad. I don't agree with the fact that, you know, we get like basically extorted. But what happens is, as soon as we earn over a certain amount from a salary, they start taxing that, so you sort of pay back your student loan slowly over time, which isn't the worst way of doing it. It would be better, obviously, if you didn't get charged that much in the first place, but you're asking an awful lot of the UK in that regard, I think. Continental Europe has got the right idea when it comes to university and such. Such thing would be considered treasonous talk by me these days, though, wouldn't it? Right, I think that is good, so we can save the game and roll on to the next turn. Interesting to see where Isengard's army that is in Aldburg decides to go. He'll probably start to try and chase Pollengoldor down, but I'm perfectly fine with that, to be honest. It would be nice as well if the other factions, now that Isengard is sort of having to commit more resources over here, it would be nice if they started pulling their weight a little bit more. It would make this so much easier. Oh, they're actually attacking, are they? That is... I've got to be honest, lads, that's probably not a good idea. 1,000 patrons. Well, to be fair, I mean, if you get to a certain point, like, when it comes to being an online content creator, you do earn a lot of money, but I highly doubt I'll ever get there. He's just walking right on past. How rude. Look at this, look at this nonsense. They're swarming all over me. That's true, 2020. But again, I'm never really in this to earn like massive amounts of money. Right, what are we doing here? So, we've got an army coming in from there, but we've got a force in there already, which... That's raiders. Yeah, look, they're starting to vomit out a bunch of like low quality stuff at this point, so you can tell the AI's panicking a little bit. And that is... You love to see it. Right, you... Continue on down here. There's nothing in there with you, is there? No. So you keep going on down here. One more turn till an armourer is complete. Oh, look at that! Look at that! A unit of Galathrim swordsmen. This is where it starts to get good. Actually, interesting to note would be. So yeah, they're gonna retake that town by the looks of things, Bree. It would be beneficial to perhaps see what Isengard are doing down here. That's a pretty strong army. Finally caught the stream, and it's 5 minutes before work. Time zone stuck. Yes, they do, Valar. Student education. Shouldn't education be free? Well, I mean, in continental Europe, I know I've got a good friend from Germany, and he pays per year €200 to go to university. I pay £9,000 effectively. Something's not quite right there. But I will say that as even though it's not great in the UK, it's worse in America. It's definitely worse in America. They will bleed you dry in America for that sort of thing. But yes, you can... Yeah, we need you to go up here. You down this way. You up here. You're still fine. Right, what are we doing here? What we really need is some more economy buildings, if at all possible, but I think we have reached the limit in Drychan. We're still upgrading you. Building a farm over there, which is good. Dorwinian are building up armies, which is nice to see. Entwade. So I think we could build a port and a market. Don't know why we're not building a market, to be honest with you. Let's get in there for that. Meanwhile, that's a pretty decent army, but to be honest with you, there's not actually a huge amount of ranged units in there. There's pikes. What sort of army have we got for Goldor? It might be a little bit dicey, that battle, especially if these reinforcements come in. But actually, what am I even talking about? We can get reinforcements right from the off. We want to be a little bit careful here. Right, first things first. Let's be sensible about this and squash these rats underfoot. There's no way should the balance of power be that close, but we'll show them the error of their ways. I'm having to consider not going to college because of student loans. Where are you from, mediocre? What country? Well, what country, I should say, are you thinking about going to study in? Look at this. Right. In France, it's between 3 and 150 euros for public university. Yeah, France is very much the same as Germany in that regard. And that is definitely a better way to do it than the way that we are subjected to. But, you know, such is the way of things. I fear that my country's going nowhere fast at this point in time, but that's what happens when you're led incompetently. Right, they need to stay in reserve, certainly. Cavalry we shall have over at this gate, so that we can escape the clutches of our own settlement with them. Elven King's Gate Guard, they took a little bit of damage in the last battle, but nothing overly problematic. They get ready to shoot. They can just shoot at whatever they want, actually. Their ammunition isn't terribly important. Your ammunition, however, is a little bit more high priority. And that's pretty much that. Spears. Spears can actually be close to the front line. In fact, they can be the front line. Very American, and engineering is one of the most expensive courses to take in America, unless you go to the military first. Yep, you can get your degree paid for by certain institutions. That's true anywhere though. A lot of companies will pay you to take a master's degree in a certain area if they want to promote you and they want you to have certain knowledge. That's what a couple of people on the course I've been doing, actually. They already had a job in the industry, but they wanted a promotion, and their company paid them to take a master's. And one of them was from South Africa, Calvin, yeah. But yeah, it's a bit of a depressing topic, but there are places that do it correctly. As much as it may get me flogged for treason, the EU is the best place for public education by a significant distance, I would say, because it doesn't suffer the money gouging that we do in the UK and America and in certain other places, but it also doesn't have the immense pressure that some places like China put people under. Listen, as much as like this is all well and good, like, you do realise you are the ones that were besieging me. You're going the wrong way. Anyway, we actually will get a good look here at the Isengard trolls. So you can see they are regular trolls, but they've been outfitted with the Isengard plate, which is pretty cool. I do think that Divide and Conquer should consider using the reforged models for the trolls, though, because they just look sort of bigger and meaner. And considering how the trolls are like pretty tough cookies in Divide and Conquer, I think it would be, especially something like the Olag High in Reforged. Obviously, they're towering things. Are they just going to run away? Is this the situation? Are they leaving? Do they not? Have they changed their mind? Peace in our time and all of that. They're too far away from my artillery, Ricky. That's the thing. I was looking with my catapult to see if they were in range, and they're not. I guess they're just running away. I guess this is I guess this is what we're doing. This is how we do. If they really didn't, like, the balance of power isn't that much of a difference. Like, it shouldn't be. Like, the balance of power should be much more in my favour. So I agree with the AI doing this. It's the wise thing to do to run away. What are they doing, like look at this nonsense. Well, okay. This is what I get for not putting time limits on the battles, I suppose. The AI is well versed in the way of the cheese. We're at Kai Archer as well, yeah, okay. Well, I guess we're going outside, boys. I guess this is what we're doing now. This is bizarre. Again, another example of the AI just floundering a little bit. Right, we will need the Gurvaleg to come outside because they will be our anti-troll weapons. Ballista can come outside. Spears as well, because they're not all that important to our future endeavours. Could do with retraining our sellswords, to be honest with you, as well, but we're going to try and do this as efficiently as possible. Send the Gerthinen out as well. Today, LSR, we are continuing the war without end against Isengard. But things are actually looking up for us. It's just a case of, if Isengard keep doing things like this, it'll take a little bit longer to mulch through them. This is not a siege. This is like just some vagabonds camped outside of our town. Well, no matter. Very, very strange indeed, but we've got reinforcements on the way as well. The annoying thing about this is they've positioned themselves perfectly as well, so when they do eventually start to rout, unfortunately for me, I'm probably not going to be able to chase down too many of them, and there will still be an army left alive, but it shouldn't be too much of a concern to defeat such an army. Right, what did we bring outside the walls in terms of infantry again? Yeah, that's right, the spears. Isengard know that their days are numbered now. They're like that one player in the lobby who tries to extend the game and tries to get you to admit defeat even though they lost the battle a long time ago. We've all been in a lobby with someone like that, I think. Right then. Be nice to be able to hire some mercenaries as well. Maybe we can do that with Pollen Goldor's army actually, because we have occupied Entwade for a little while at this point. Still not quite in range for that. Right. Yeah, you're a unit we need forward at all times, really. This is the crush infantry, should it be required. Big brain medieval 2 AI moves. Oh, they actually are in range now, good. The sprinting over short distances suit the dwarves though. Half-orc spear guard. Are we actually going to be able to hit anything from this angle? That's not looking too promising if I'm being honest. Go forwards a little bit further. You do the same. You go forwards to shoot the orcs should they begin an advance. Cavalry up on the hill. I forgot how strong is Mordor at the moment. Not as strong as Isengard by a long way, I would say. I think they were beating Harad, but Harad haven't had their doom stacks spawn, so they're not on their last legs. I think if Harad die, it might be time to worry about Mordor again. But Dorwinion is strong enough that they should be able to hold them at bay. Might be able to shoot down the trolls with the ballista bolts. Yeah, that's what I'm going to try and do. For Christ's sake. It is one long, frustrating odyssey, this. They know they've lost. They cannot win. But they are not gracious losers, our Isengard. Perhaps as you would expect. Yeah, that's not good either. Bloody hell. Look how quickly my ballista crew's dying. Even theirs didn't die that quickly. Madness. Then there's the classic medieval 2. We're going to spin on the spot for a little while instead of going in the direction we told you to go. Just drop it, would you? Look at this. Go back that way. Hey, we actually hit with our catapult. Catapult hasn't been all that useful so far, but you never know. The fact that this unit is stretched as well is kind of annoying, because it means that we're not able to attack them properly. Ah, are they moving forwards? Is this the moment? Well, here we go. Right, you go there. You can remain hiding for the time being. Uruk-hai archers moving forward first. Might be enough to make them infight. They're actually revealing themselves a little bit more now as well, so it's a good opportunity to actually get our catapult into action. You go there. So close to the red line as well, there's so little room for manoeuvre. Yeah, shoot at them. Go on, get a volley off. That wasn't all that impressive, if I'm being honest. What's my ballista doing? What is that? Trying to get friendly fire or something? Oh, for crying out loud. I swear they do it on purpose sometimes. They're getting engaged in melee now. Right, whoa, 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 whoa. That was a disaster. The catapult crew needs to get the hell out of there. No. Alright, and Lothlorien scouts. That's what we need. Trolls are still proving to be a bit of a problem. Okay. shoot the Vanguard. At least all the trolls are dead. That is the only real damage dealers they had gone. I'm a little bit concerned about our boys in there though. Right. Go after those raiders. I probably should have sent more out here, to be honest with you. I think I got a little bit too stingy. Shoot into them. Definitely a bizarre fight. Far from an ideal one, but
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
as you would hope. Charge into them. That's a good charge. That's what we want to see.
Our men have slain the enemy.
Like that, hopefully, is the catalyst for them to fall apart. Yeah, it is. Look at that. They're done out here. Hopefully we didn't lose Orifin in that mess. That would be a real annoyance, but I suppose I would only have myself to blame. Yeah, go after them. They are still fighting over there, those Vanguard. Keep going after those raiders. We definitely don't want this army coming back after this. And to be fair, if most of the losses we took were from a general's bodyguard unit, as long as the general himself didn't actually die, they will at least respawn. So all is not lost. And we have got another general on the way down here to act as a governor, really, of this very town.
Behold how our cowardly foe runs. It's time to press the attack.
Can we catch them? Probably not, right? Well, there's still a fair distance, actually, if they want to route off that way. No friendly fire, please. Spear guard. And Vanguard. It wasn't clean. How are you doing? Isengard regaining its power? I'm not crushing them, but we are sort of slowly grinding our way through them, I think. That's them gone, so yeah, the only ones left are the ones over on this side, which shouldn't be here for too much longer. Okay.
Our foe is utterly vanquished. Let all who remember this death.
Be interesting to see if Orifin died in that. Hopefully he didn't, because those respawning March Wardens are a real boon for us. It is interesting now, though, that we're not really getting many battles that Isengard are initiating. We've had one in this part so far, but not many of them. Did Orifin die? That's the question. Execute all of them.
We protect the elven lands.
There, he didn't. Okay, we're good.
I'm gonna stick you, sire.
Right. As for this,
Follow me.
right, we need more units over here, really. We've already moved everything else. There's more horse archers and Ivana's chosen on the way. So he has got 3 free slots, and I think what is most required to deal with that situation is going to be, actually, for the first time, probably ranged units. So get you in there. A couple of units of basic swordsmen. No, we'll go for a. Yeah, we'll go for the 2 units of regular swords, and we'll attack him shortly. Okay, hold on. It's a lot of like it. Even Isengard won't be able to replace these units too easily. Okay, it puts us at a disadvantage, but that's fine. Right then. No artillery in this one either, but ranged superiority. Doesn't always go without saying. And that unit of horse archers is very depleted. Got the same cavalry setup in both armies, but that wasn't intentional. You over here as well. Yeah, don't worry, I've got a catapult in my other army. But they're way back in CALENARDHON, so getting everything to the front line is not an immediate thing that ever really happens. Actually, I really want to be able to retrain some of these Elven King's Gate Guards, but it's really not easy to be able to get your units in a position to be able to do that. Anyway. That'll do, because they're probably not going to move towards us anyway. They've got wargs. And actually they are moving towards us. Maybe they see, or are they? No, they're just sort of reforming, shuffling themselves around a little bit. Yeah, killing this little army off as well will give us a nice little position to be in. We're at Kai Pikemen. Lay down the barrage. That is a slight concern, the fact that a lot of their units are on the level now where killing them in such a way is probably going to be quite difficult, but we may as well use up all our ammunition first if they're going to allow us to do so. It is actually interesting though, are they going to allow us to shoot their raiders? Probably, actually, which is quite interesting. Shoot them. You can actually kill them after all. You shoot at them, so we should be able to do a lot of damage to them on the approach regardless. Yeah, go after the wargs. They're a bit of a concern after all. Okay. They're just shifting themselves a little bit there. Oh, those are crossbows. Maybe we should start shooting at them. Charge into them. Right. Now we can start thinking actually about just getting down and dirty in melee, I think. Because, yeah, we're going to do that. Okay. We will keep shooting him though.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Ah, good, they're moving in here. That gives us the opportunity to shoot them up. Right, that's less ideal because of the pikemen, but other portions of the line will fall away anyway. And we can give this unit of raiders in the back a run around as well. They put their crossbows on the front line as well, which is another big brain move by the AI. The enemy general is fleeing. Actually, this is a good opportunity to get some of these archers into position as well, to shoot right down the line. Might be a little bit careful. A little bit of nuance will be required. Right. Pikemen. Yeah, we're on the right end of that engagement, certainly. If we can kill their general as well, that will be a nice little bonus. There are Uruk-hai infantry in here as well, which is worth bearing in mind. Actually, yeah, get into there, get in melee. Artillery piece really that useful? Never use artillery. Depends. Like, the main reason I quite like them. Oh, they got caught. That's unfortunate. The main reason I like them is because it lets me assault a settlement immediately, without having to need to wait a turn, which can keep the enemy off guard. We are actually taking more losses. I mean, it does go to show the quality, I suppose, that they do actually have in their armies at this point.
The battle is very much in our favour. Victory will be ours.
But cavalry on the way back. No, don't go that way. Right then.
The enemy are badly
Up
bloodied.
and around.
They have lost half their men.
Oh, that's such a pathetic charge. Not even point in. No point in even completing that one. Yeah, it's a little bit bloodier than I wanted it to be, really, this one. Right, yeah. You can leave at once. But it's not the end of the world. This whole invasion force from the south will be killed as a result. And that should be that, to be honest. Yeah, they're starting to run en masse. Should be able to kill them, actually. Yeah. And keep heading down here. Marvellous. That actually stabilised them, weirdly enough. You can recruit the Rohirrim as mercenaries. Not at the moment I can't. I tried to recruit mercenaries last turn and there were none available. We can try now because we are in Entwade and this is a different territory technically. So we might be able to recruit some there. Right, anyway. Now the usual ritual of hunting down very, very depleted units with cavalry. Such as our lots. They're still going after them, which is good. That's what we want to see. Hold on a minute, we don't want to see that though. That's it. It'll be fine. Very healthy units of Spear Guard are not what we want to see either. Be back in a bit. See you, Duncan. What's the most OP unit in Reforged? Rangers across the board in a siege would probably be considered fairly overpowering. I'm not sure I'd call the Blacklocks that anymore though. The Iron Watch are an interesting one, to be sure. Still got units rousing in all sorts of directions. Are they gone yet? Still one remaining. There's one way off in the distance over there as well. Okay, that's them gone. Still some Bane Guard ripe for the picking over here. And that is the only unit left on the field, actually. And we didn't lose that many, actually.
Remember it as the day of our most glory.
Like a storm, they broke upon the line of the men of Gondor. The artillery in general also gives you a bit more flexibility because you can dictate the battle at longer ranges as well, so you can. Nothing survives an artillery shot, so like the armour of Isengard doesn't do them any good against my artillery, whereas it does against. Right, there's still units all over the place down here. They're still on the way down. Right. For a start, get rid of this. Actually, an auto-resolve that I can do. How about that? 6 gold? What is going on here? I can upgrade it to a city if I want. I don't know if I want to do that right now, because I might end up losing it again. If they can gather up a big enough force. Right, this army here is one that I do want to finish off. Can I retrain any units? Can I retrain the cells? I can retrain a whole bunch of stuff. We're definitely going to retrain you. We'll retrain you. Yavanna's chosen, good candidate for that as well. And you're still fairly healthy. You're not though. Let's go for you. And right. Big question is, right, I think what we will do, we will send all of the depleted stuff we have back in here, or at least somewhat depleted stuff, so potentially we can retrain it, but also so that we have more men in there so that we can defend against that army when it inevitably... It will need to siege though, to be fair, so there's not really much to be too concerned about. Yeah. We'll have to fight this one because the balance of power, even though we outnumber them by more than 600, the balance of power is like, I'm not quite sure. These low quality trash orcs might do some damage to your elves. No, that's too risky, Val. They're too fragile at long range, and they have to be right up in the face of the enemy. Like, they would get collectively 1 volley each, which probably will do a lot of damage, but the logistics involved with recruiting that would not be worthwhile, to be honest. They're good as a supporting unit, but they're not like sufficient to build an entire army of. Galathrim archers, maybe, because they've got the they've got the melee capabilities to go along with it. Yeah, I knew that was the unit we were missing. I wish this would sort of stay as it was after the battle, that you sort of go for this sort of... After you reorganise them in one battle, it doesn't stick, which is annoying, but... Right, you go on this flank. Nice to have more Wardens of Keren not Wardens, Sentinels of Keren Amroth. Near enough the same thing. Right. I shall lead you well. It's artillery, that's probably why. This is probably why the balance of power was... That's also something else, I suppose. Balance of power, I think, does take artillery into account. Where's Celeborn? Berserkers are a smaller unit, yeah. Celeborn's in the other army. This is my heir's army. Ever since Haldir died, Mr. Pollen Goldor has been our general, or heir, I should say. Which does mean he has a bigger unit of Elbereth Sentinels, which is quite nice. They've been the backbone of my campaign, pretty much, with how often I had to utilise them. Oh, you know what, we can pick off their artillery. The AI always make this rather puzzling decision to try and go forward and... They try and shift off into a corner. Like, you could have deployed back there to start with. That's what I don't understand. No matter. Press F for Haldir. Well, Haldir brought that on himself. Yeah, I know, Val, but they're not like the sort of unit that I'd want to build an entire army out of, because they're a very specific unit. They're good for like support, but I just don't think they'd make a particularly good, like, what you would term as a doom stack, like an army of just one unit. I think the only unit I'd like to do that with Lothlorien would be the Galathrim Archers, because they're not as good as the swords in melee, but they're still pretty close. Very nice. Now we can do them in. Yeah, now they're on the way back, so we can shoot them up. Yeah, they're not going to last long under that kind of arrow fire, I wouldn't have thought. Poor little Snaga. Hello, Psyker. Or Salka. Just a slow advance into Isengard as it continues. As soon as they get into range, that will be good. Uruk-hai crossbow men, go after them. Yeah, here we go. This is light work now.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance now. They try to overlap a little bit there, but they're going to pay very dearly for that. Firing in with javelins. Yeah, here we go. Get ready to catch anything that falls. Yeah, we finally, I think, got on a bit of a grip on the campaign at this point. All that matters now is that we just keep our cool, remain patient, and the floodgates will break, so to speak. Be even better if we can actually hire the Rohirrim as mercenaries, to be honest with you, because it would help us with overall Lothlorien's much more limited cavalry options. They're decent, as I have learnt, but Actually, you all shoot at them. You charge in there. That should be enough to break them, to be honest with you. And then we can shoot them as they leave the battle. Yeah, there they go. And now we can go over here to get them. Perfect. Well, maybe not perfect. I don't know if we're going to be able to kill off all of them, but it should be enough of a proportion of their army that that they're done. Yeah, 23 lost. It's going to get to the point eventually as well where they can't build up these stacks as quickly because they won't have many towns on the front line. If we can push them back to the Gap of Rohan, there's only one place. Well, maybe can they come through Dunharrow? I guess it depends on how well Gondor are doing, which is probably not well. Alright then. Right, and how much further can we move? Not that far, but we can go down this way. They are actually building up a force in here now, aren't they? Maybe they'll come out and meet us. I actually wouldn't be too against that, to be honest. Go here like that. You have already moved. I think we've already moved everything, as far as I'm aware. Right. Yeah, next turn, as soon as we build that, we will start recruiting some more things. Onadirith isn't a very... you'd have to be a noob to lose your entire army while using the catapult. Sure, the occasional casualty, but it's worth it. Not having to deal with a berserker/pikeman line by Isengard is a big plus. Artillery friendly fire. My ballista nearly did that in the last battle we saw. Taking Edoras would be a big plus for us as well because it's a nice defensive position. It pushes Isengard back. Yeah, look at this. They've turned around. Yeah, decent little force. A very decent force actually. But as long as we're on the defence, doesn't matter. Artillery, elven archers, they never stood a chance. What is this? It's an army that they actually left. Interesting. I'm going to build a watchtower. I wonder. There are no mercenaries able to recruit. What about here? Nope. You're still fine. You're on the way back down. You're on the way back up. You're on the way back down. Galathran Bladesman. Isengard are going to have no answer to that whatsoever in melee. At least you'd certainly hope not. More reinforcements for Entwade. I wonder actually. Yeah, I think we can actually. Right, can we retrain? No, we can't. Okay, that's a shame. All right, Karas Galadon. What can we build here? Merchant's Quarter would be quite nice. Look at the money we've got at this point. We'd be mad not to. Yeah, we need a Valian Council Hall because we need to build more units across the board. Right, we'll have Ivana's Chosen, Elder Council. We'll go for a couple of units of... yeah, we'll go for a couple of units of them. Retrain, you. Tirith Anduin. That's where it worked. That's where I found the Rohirrim. Only family members can recruit mercenaries. We'll see about that in when we have a moment to send a general over there. Right, I think we one more turn until that's done. We're already building stuff there. Roads, Merchant's Wharf is useless. Master Builder's Hall. Oh, a mining network. Are you crazy? Let's go for that. We need that money, that sweet cash. And we need to recruit a bunch of units from Amon Lenk as well. In fact, we can build another building over here, which would be, again, crazy not to do. Yeah, 81% Elven culture should be enough for us to actually recruit what we want. Let's just go for a couple more units of basic stuff, but irrigation. Yeah, let's go for that. Anyway, save that so I don't forget it. Right. Now then. What is this? An army that we should be able to defeat. Okay, we're going to have to fight this one sadly, but it'll be an easy victory. See you, Duncan. Good to have you around. I don't have a general free that I can do that with right now, Matt. I will when I can, but I'm not sacrificing the momentum I have to just see if perhaps the Rohirrim are there. Besides, Rohirrim cavalry would just be merely a nicety to have. Most important thing at this point is to get some high quality elven infantry. That is the important thing. Because if we can get a bunch of that, Isengard don't stand a chance against us in melee. Perhaps only with their pikes, and even then we have tools that we can use to more easily deal with that. Yeah, that's those two. That's it in terms of archers that we have, isn't it? Not a hugely archer heavy army anymore, which is what I was looking to move away from, so we need a unit of Lothlorien spears in behind each of our artillery pieces. Right, let's see what is what over here. Oh. Oh Jesus, that's an AI controlled army, isn't it? Just what I needed. Some fool in command of my men. Yeah, defensive stance. We might not even need to utilize you at all. Urukai Raiders. Caliborn actually has slightly less range than the March Wardens, which is quite interesting. What are you doing? You've got a long way to move at least. Crossbows. Yeah, that's the every time the AI get artillery, they go for your generals. Let's go out here. Go into shootout stance. You don't have any ranged units, but hopefully that'll be sufficient to convince you not to charge in. Although to be fair, this is entirely raiders pretty much. There's some archers there as well. Archers, ripe for the taking. This is a real killing field for them at the moment.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
We want to block the way in for them. We're going to have to sacrifice our cav for that, which is a shame, but It really cannot be helped. They're going to get ripped up. Okay. Let's get some Lothlorien warders on the front line. And some Guthinan. Not them. You shoot at them. Right. Elven King's Gate Guard as well would be nice to have over there because I know they can handle the workload. Jesus, what are they doing? Last thing I want them doing is charging in and getting some friendly fire. Get some swiftness on the go. Get the...
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Those raiders aren't going to know what hit them. Gate Guards and Caliborn. Going to go in and give them the business. Right, we lost a lot of our cav there, but it's not the end of the world. They routed almost immediately. Embarrassing performance. You know what, just get into melee. They're already shaken. Why not? You can charge in there. You can wait in the backfield actually to chase down those routing units. And AI reinforcements, how about that? No, don't start shooting. Last thing we need at this point is friendly fire. Surprised they didn't rout actually, where they are fighting to the death, so just as good. And keep shooting at those archers. Right, my AI companion is now charging in, so I suppose I may as well do the same, to be honest. Actually, yeah, you just go after them. Lothlorien warders. Why not? What's the worst they can do at this point? I tend to prefer waiting for settlements to starve out. Yeah, I don't. I like being quick and aggressive, which sometimes is to my detriment, but it keeps the AI off balance. I think especially if you're playing as someone like the elves, you kind of need to do that because you can't afford to sit and wait because the AI will outproduce you. Oh boy. Of course. Well done, Catapult. Your contribution in this battle has been some friendly fire. Classic. That is you. You head this way. Well, that's going to be at least the little army that's over here dealt with. Next turn, I assume Isengard will want to attack on Odirith. And what are they chasing? That him? It's just one Lothlorien sentry. Oh, that. Okay. Well, not spotless, that battle, but we are definitely moving in the right direction. The sheer amount of Isengard forces we've killed in this campaign Surely it's only a matter of time now. Hello, Artorius. Yet another beggar at my doors. That's them done.
We protect the Elven lands.
Back in there. Right then. So, can we retrain anything else? We can actually retrain pretty much everything. Aren't we already retraining stuff though? Wasn't that what we were doing? Wasn't that the plan? Okay, well I'll tell you what. We're gonna get some of these units away from here anyway. We could do with keeping the archers actually. So I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna send you over here. You two are going to go down there. So we need 3 slots. We need, to be fair, we do need an artillery piece somewhere else, but for the time being I want to keep them here. You can go this way, because the javelins haven't all been that useful so far, and the Gore of a Leg filled that role anyway. And who else? Just one more unit really. What is less useful? Definitely not the armor piercing. You can go down here as well actually. And then all of you 3 can go in there. So a 3rd general and then a couple of healthy units of sentinels of Karen Amroth. They're on the way down here. Can't retrain anything in here. Nope, we already tried that, didn't we? Right then. Oh, we can attack this place. Perfect. Let's go. Aldburg might be ours. As long as I don't mess it up. And then we can start thinking about taking Edoras. It's been in Isengard hands for far too long already. I think they could be bringing in reinforcements from the town as well. This is a much more archer-centric army though, which is perhaps not to our advantage actually. It's a lot of hidden units. We don't have horse archers anymore, but we can go after any units on foot. Perhaps any artillery that's lagging behind. Okay. Let's just see what the lay of the land is here. Okay, yeah, they're pretty far away. No reinforcements though, so this is just a straight up force. Right, do they have artillery? I'm not convinced they do, you know. I think this is another one of those more hastily assembled art. Well, I say that. Yeah, they've got mostly orc men with some crossbows in here, but like this is still not, like it's not really the most impressive host, so I shouldn't be, I'm not really feeling too worried at the moment. I'll just shoot the orc men for now. Quality should be more than sufficient to see us through. It's interesting that they're the ones choosing to advance in this situation. Very strange indeed. Again though, look at the amount of damage we do per volley. That isn't that much if we're being honest. But the crossbows are a little bit more worth going after, I think. Especially considering we can go around, circumvent the situation. javelins. Yeah, here we go. And shoot the Isengard. They can get into melee. You can get ready to go around. Yeah, we're in a good place now. Okay. Archers doing their thing. I don't understand the AI sometimes. The best army by far I had, Orthanc guards, Nazkai and trolls. Yeah, we might see that a little bit more when we get closer to Orthanc. But I think it is also worth bearing in mind that at this point Isengard are probably so stretched and they need to keep building the kind of units that we've been seeing them use quite a lot of. Isengard. Right. You are going far too far. You need to get into the back lines. You keep going for the crossbows, yes. You lot need to run, really. That's good. Yeah, they're going to block me with the Isengard, but that's fine. We need to get a little bit closer than that. Victory seems certain for them. Is it, though? That's what I want to know. You can shoot in there. They're already starting to break. They're certainly already thinking about repositioning their engagement, which is a little bit strange, but I'm not complaining about that. Maybe it's the javelins that they don't like. Unless they are rich, they'll... Well, I mean, Isengard should be rich with the amount of territory they've got, but they've got so many enemies at this point that maybe that's the problem. It's entirely possible, I think. They're having to fight myself, Bree. They might also have drawn the ire of the High Elves, which is probably a death sentence for them in the West. If you get the attention of late-game High Elves, then something's gone horribly wrong for you. This is going to be very nice. They're going to continue to get shots. May as well just train all our archers on that one unit of Isengard at this point. Well, oh no, they just routed. Them fear effects though. Even my basic units are still doing well, mixing in some Sentinels of Caern Amroth. Actually, yeah, you go up here, charge into the back of them, and you go after the surviving crossbowman. Yeah, that's what I'd like to see. Very by the books, this one. And actually at this point I think we can get away with turning off fire at will. One crossbow remains. That's them gone. Isengard next. There are the Spear Guard. Actually, you just keep going up the hill. Deal with them later. They're going to be dead soon. can be a little bit more picky now with how we choose to engage. Yeah, that'll be fine. There's still something left over there? Apparently there is. Oof, that's a lot of punishment they're taking, but not a lot of death. You'd think it'll be enough to rout them soon, though. Now we will scurry away. This is how the Wood Elves play in basically any strategy game I think you'll ever find. Kiting. There's no substitute for it. Oh, they're actually out of ammunition. Wild. Let's see here. Still a fair amount of time left, to be honest with you, in terms of how long we have to stream. Maybe we can take Edoras in this part. That would be quite something. If all continues to go in this fashion. We're chipping away at Isengard's economy with each town we take as well. Greetings, Jasdeep. We're about to take Aldberg, I believe. See, look, this is an unshielded unit and they're just so resilient. But this is all about efficiency at this point. Every elf is going to count. Wonder if the shield on like, I know that in Divide and Conquer having a shield on your back doesn't necessarily indicate a shield value, but with how resilient they are, it's worth saying as well, most of the ammunition that's being sunk into them at this point is from Elbereth Sentinels, Woodland Sentinels and Lorien March Wardens. So I mean, it's mid-tier Elven Archers at worst, and mid-tier Elven Archers are better than what most factions can field like at their very high end. This is still worth doing, I think. Still going after the cavalry, I think. That's a unit of spears. Ah, now they rout. As soon as they get anywhere near my infantry line, that's when everything falls apart for them. They had their general in that unit as well. The day's grafting.
This is a clear victory.
There we go, only 34 losses. I think that's another town that we can now take. This does give us like a fairly large border with Mordor, I think, though, because Entwade and Aldberg sort of share that border with the province that Gondor used to have, but now I think it's in Mordor hands. But Mordor should have too much to do to really bother us at this point. Right, execute them all. Enemy camp sacked. Oh, that wasn't Aldberg, so yeah, we will have to siege. Okay, we'll maintain the siege. Even if the reinforcements come in, I think we can take them. To be honest with you. Got a few more units on the way as well. Maybe they can be a bit of a lightning rod. We will see. They've moved. And I think... Ah, yes. You need to get back in there. Free upkeep on you for the time being. It's not possible to recruit any... Well, hang on a minute. Can we retrain? We can. They're building... You're not building anything. Can we build anything useful for you, though? Not really. Vineyard, sure, why not? Okay. And now then. Let's see what happens. Could you explain the retraining mechanic? Well, it's effectively just the unit replenishment. It's the idea that units don't just replenish over time like they do in the modern games, but you have to go to a town to retrain your units for the ones that are lost. And the reason why you'd want to do that instead of just like binning them and getting like all new units is because obviously it maintains the chevrons and the upgrades that you have on them. Are they going to attack Onodirith? That's a big army they've got there. Big old force that they've arrived with now. Yeah, I like Khazad-dûm's units. The Axguard and the Deeping Guard and so on. Turns at war. Turns until surrender 5. Right, we've got a bigger army there now. Get all of that into Entwade for the time being. You get ready. You may as well go into Rockburg for now. You lot. Right, we are building stuff here. 2 turns until they're done. We have got a lot of money now. A lot of money coming in through the doors. Do we have... Where is... I guess not. I guess we don't have any food increase buildings. Nothing really in terms of economy that we can build there. Is there anything in Tirith Anduin we can build? Actually, there is something we can do. We actually don't even have this repaired properly. There is something we can do here, and that is crop rotation. Building something there, building something there. Right, we've already built this up now, so we can actually build something else here. A market, perfect. Just what we want to see. Right, this is going to be interesting. Again, though, that looks scary, but it's... I mean, it's 2 artillery pieces, but a lot of it is Reavers, which will get ripped to pieces by our archers, and Uruk-hai raiders and archers, which are not very good either. I'd rather face that than like Orc-men or more Uruk-hai legion, as it were. Right. Now is actually an opportunity for us to move over and see what the deal is with Edoras. Only a general in there. Prefer Reforged or Divide and Conquer? Well, Reforged for multiplayer, Divide and Conquer for campaign. That is the way. There's no need to worry about that. So yeah, this is going to be fairly decisive, I think. This next battle, because I assume Isengard are going to go right for it. What have they actually got in Oldburg? A garrison of 2. Now, you know what? Let's just deal with this right now. Yeah, 14 soldiers lost. So for burning Orc culture, mission success, very nice. Population to be massacred. No, we're just gonna occupy it. We're gonna do the normal thing. It's slow going to sort of change the culture, but it doesn't really hurt us in the long run. Right, first things first, get an armory built, and then we can move on after a few turns here and go for Edoras. What time is it in the place that you live? It is 4 in the afternoon. quite a nice afternoon as well for September. September is honestly in the southwest of England. It's often quite nice. It's often quite warm, and it's really October where things start to change into winter, and then obviously in winter, because we're sort of sticking out into the Atlantic Ocean a little bit, things get quite windy and rainy. Break. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I don't need. We don't need that. Where are we? Northman stuff. Prison. What is this? Public order bonus due to happiness. Oh yes, we also need to repair the town. These are actually all worth it. We'll repair everything. Why not? Why not? We'll live in filth like the orcs. Wait, oh, the vineyard's damaged as well. Really should pay more attention. Let's see here. Is there anything else we can build? Anything at all? We've already looked up here, I'm pretty sure, but public fountains couldn't hurt, could they? At this point, I'm just looking to make sure that everything in our realm is set just so. Entwade is actually a place where we're building a market already. Okay. So this is likely to be pretty decisive this next turn. What time will I be streaming tomorrow? Probably the same time, Jasteep. Yeah, I grew up by the sea, Calvin. And I don't get seasick, no, which is very useful considering the university course that I've been doing. There was one girl on our course that actually does get seasick, as she learnt, which is not great, but there are things you can do, to be fair, to counteract seasickness. So it's not the end of the world. What have we here? My. They're trying to circumvent the situation, I see. That's quite annoying. I should have known that Isengard would do something like this. Their last almost spit in the eye before. I mean, this is a 3 chevron. I mean, we're not going to win this battle, to be fair, but still. Doesn't hurt to fight a battle like this, because you'll do far better than you otherwise would. Having said that, what is going on here? Good morning from Canada. Hello, John. What have we got here? Uruk-hai archers. Why not? Just go after him. We're more likely to be able to get some good kills on Uruk-hai archers than anything else in this army. It'll soften them up enough. I don't know what they're doing there. They could just charge in and obliterate me. Yeah, don't worry, I saw that, Matt. Clearly we will lose this battle, but at the very least we can soften them up to make sure our settlement in Rockburg can do the business. Actually, to be fair, what we could probably do now is just withdraw. Withdraw, and then we'll have full ammunition next time. Dirty tactics, but what can I say? Rohan are the most useless faction. In the hands of the AI, perhaps, but having access to cavalry in the hands of a player is devastating.
Ruin these trees, no
Oh, we went that way as well. Are they gonna... Where are they going?
Be vigilant.
That actually worked out okay in the end. Baggage train lost. Don't need to worry about that. We have stuff in Rockburg, don't we? Oh yeah, we've got Galathrim's swordsman. What are you even doing with yourself, my dude?
Elven warriors.
You're finished out here and you don't even know it. Can we... We can actually reach them as well. It is probably worth it. They could turn around and attack. I mean, if they attack Entwade with that army, we're done for anyway, so... they're building up a little force in Edoras as well. Give them their due. Right. What have we got going on here? That'll be another nice little wave of reinforcements we can commit. You can come back down here. A couple more units that we need to begin sending down. Sentinels of Kerin Amroth are being trained. Why not? It's all a matter of just training up everything we can, I think, at this point. Let's just get everything on the go. We've got so much money to play with at this point, we might as well. Oh, can't afford you. I'd rather have some spears, actually. Erui, there's no need for that yet. Tirith Anduin? That's a good point. Can we... Recruitment? Right, I'll tell you what, we'll have a little look to see. No, I can only recruit sellswords near Tirith Anduin, which is fine. It's not by far and away you could do much, much worse. Oh, the Westfold scenario. Is that what you're talking about? Hello, Owen. Yeah, the Westfold scenario was really good. Very enjoyable. Gainard. Right. We still can't recruit anything here, can we? No. We are going to do a spy, just to give us another mobile watchtower. Elves. Could we? No, probably not. Okay, I'm probably getting a little bit greedy there. Maybe if I just sent my horse archers forward. Yeah, I want to deal with them, really. Let's go there. And then you two, pick them up on the way. And so we fight. Enough of this nonsense. And right, okay. Our general is in one of our horse archer units, which is kind of bizarre when you think about it. No, we don't want that. We want fire at will. Right, these two need to stay away, far away, because I don't want really to... This is actually a good opportunity to have a little look at our Galathrim swordsmen, who are up here. In terms of melee power, killing power, probably the best we have, but they're not AP. Excellent unit to be sure. Right, the key here is just to try and kill off that ballista. So the Mirkwood lads are going to have to do the heavy lifting in this particular fight. Uruk-hai archers, raiders. Unfortunately for us, we are going to take We are going to take damage from ballistae and archers. There we go, that's what I want to see. Probably just have to sally out from Onodirith. It doesn't have the best defense, I don't think, in the first place. True. And I probably will, to be honest with you, after I've finished this army off. You can go this way. You can go this way. As long as they're not going after the orc men, I'm not really too bothered, to be honest. This is good. I wish Med 2 worked on iPods. You're asking for a lot there, Jasdeep. They're pretty capable devices, yeah, but Total War games are... they'd be a little bit difficult. I mean, interface-wise, I'm not sure how you'd make that work, to be honest. Right, at this point, actually. Actually, yeah, go after the Uruk-hai archers. There we go. And... no, go after that guy. He stood right next to him. There he goes. Right. Get you a bit further forward. You just keep firing at the archers. Melee wise, they really don't stand a chance. At least you would certainly hope not. I'm sure that I'll take some unwanted casualties from this, but it really can't be helped. Oh, iPad, yeah. I can't see from across the room the difference between the A and the O. iPad, the same. Like, I know that they've done like mobile Total Wars and stuff, but I still don't understand how the interface would truly work. Like, it would be kind of awkward to play, I think. I can't imagine playing Total War without using a mouse, for example.
Good tidings. The enemy general lies dead.
Excellent. He was in the Uruk-hai archer unit, which is a little bit strange. See how much damage this, like a two-pronged charge will do from horse archers. Probably not that much. To be fair, that was pretty good. Okay. Time to get out of there. Listen, the battle was always in my favour. As long as the horses actually continue to move forward. Yeah, exactly, Calvin. Yes, Matt. But you can't just retrain them anywhere. That's like the caveat. You can't just, for example, if you like take like a rubbish little village, you can't retrain like, for example, my Lothlorien units. Which is part of the issue with using high tier units in Med 2. You have to sort of be a little bit careful with how you commit, because it can cripple you more easily. Slowly but surely. Cutting down on these foul Uruk-hai. Yeah, they're shaken now. That wasn't a very good charge though. Having fun importing music to my Total War build. What sort of music? There's not many raiders left now. $32. Are they really going to send the Uruk-hai raiders after them first? Alright. I'll be happy to oblige. They'll break under a charge from the Gurthinen. It's a shame they're Spear Guard. If they were Bane Guard, I'd feel a little bit more confident about just charging into them. Yep, they routed almost immediately. Get this unit of Force Archers ready. Christopher Nolan, the movie guy. We're going to need to coax them into melee with us. Right. Get ready to charge into the rear of them once this plan takes off. Right, this should be devastating, really. Well, they routed immediately. Well, their attempt to sort of weasel their way in to my territory has failed. The Slipknot. I don't know if that would quite have the sort of the theme of like Lord of the Rings as you were fighting a lot across the battlefield. It's definitely a different direction you can go in from like the charge of the Rohirrim. Yeah, I know about him, Matt. I don't know too much about the details of him, but I know who he is. Right, okay. Yeah, I think the only way is going to be to attack, isn't it? Can we build anything good here? We can. We can build a few things that are quite good, actually. Crop rotation. We'll go for a port. Some good trade. They've already moved, just making sure this is probably going to be the last action of this turn after all. They're still building that mining network. They've already moved. Rockburg is still as happy as we can expect it to be, really. Yeah, Owen, things are looking okay at this point, I would say. Captain Lughorn over here. As soon as Aldburg is happy enough for me to move on, we'll combine a force with some units from Entwade and we'll go for Edoras. I think though for this stream what might be a good thing is to sort of set things up so that Edoras is the first thing we do next time. And from there we can potentially move on to Helm's Deep as well. Edoras could be another recruitment hub for us potentially. Right, we will just save it before going into this battle, because this battle could after all be pretty damaging if we get it wrong. Right, they've got a lot more men than we have. We also for some reason don't get access to our reinforcements, even though the guys are literally right there. But such is the way of things. a unit of 76 Lothlorien archers isn't going to be the difference here, I don't think, anyway. Grishnak. Oh. Interesting. Well. This is what they did last time, though, and last time they just went into the corner of the map because they're cowards. We'll see if that's what they want to do this time. We will sort of set our army up just in case they do want to move forward. They probably should because they have got a rather large numerical advantage. But the AI isn't always sensible. We've got a lot of generals' bodyguards here. Right, Gorvaleg. We've got some cav that we can send out the back door. And infantry. And that's not what we need, so infantry wise we'll just put everything together for now. We don't have the javelins to concern ourselves with anymore. Yes, 2 new units of sentinels of Keren Amroth. Very nice for us. Okay. The question is, what are they actually going to do here? Are they going to move in and attack? If they are, then good. If they're not, then that kind of sucks, but... yeah, they're doing this again. Well, I mean, we have a fantastic opportunity to just clean up on their siege as a result of them doing this. So on this occasion, it's actually a good thing. Our cavalry is very depleted, but such things are not important for now. Get everything into control groups. Weird. It's a bizarre thing to do. I guess the idea is that we are sallying out, so it makes a certain amount of sense, but the fact that the AI immediately scurries away into the corner of the map is a little bit strange. Do you think the horse archers are a good unit? Yes, Owen, definitely. They're very micro-intensive, but they definitely have their place. Part of that, especially with divide and conquers mechanics, though, because horse archers aren't quite as powerful as they are in Reforged, is because the AI is terrible at dealing with them. Like, you send a unit of like horse archers at the enemy and they don't know what to do. Right, so we'll pick off their artillery and then do our thing. A very weird move indeed. Can't complain too much. Very nice. This is going to be more of a bump than a charge. Actually, that wasn't too bad.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
And we'll be able to shoot them on the way out. Another nice charge. Definitely need to make sure that they don't get away. Nice that we're shooting that unit there as well. They're actually coming back now. Right. Go on, break them. Yeah, we're going to stay in melee with them to kill them quickly. And are they gone? They are, aren't they? Yes, we killed them all off in their entirety. That's exactly what we want to see. Might be able to kill this one off as well. Yeah, they dropped the ball pretty hard on this one, did Isengard. I think that's going to be the end of our escapades with that ballista, though, yeah. Well, maybe not. Maybe we can shoot them. And we can charge into and kill this one. At the very least, we've killed off two. Now they're moving back. Again, why would they not just use their archers to counter-skirmish me? Makes little sense. And the battle is very much in my favour. What I want to know is if we can just continuously charge into them using our Lothlorien scouts. Maybe go into the archers, for example. Yeah, I guess we can use circle. Right, this is something I'm quite interested in seeing the results of. Maybe they don't see them as a big enough threat to bother using their resources on, but I mean, they should, because if they don't, I'm just going to keep slowly chipping away at them. Nope. Right, they still have a ballista crew. Again though, we can go into the Uruk-hai archers again. Another cheeky charge. Took a little bit of damage on our horses there. They're on their way back to their siege equipment now. But again, that's going to be quite painful for them. Right, we do need to get out of here now though. I think we've sort of plumbed the depths of what we're going to be capable of doing there, but they're on the way back. They are. Right, let's send our cavalry off over there. Hello, Manus. Well, let's see if they actually are interested in attacking the settlement then. Because if they are they just going to go right on past? Again, this is a truly weird way to approach this from the AI. A very strange indeed, because they're not going to be able to. Well, need to go a little bit further back so the gates are closed, I suppose. Again, how do they propose to get in? Maybe actually we do need to have a unit close enough to let them in, because that was what was causing them to think they could advance. Yeah, here they go. Yeah, we need to let them get closer and then just slam the door in their face. Okay. Let's utilise our catapult. Ooh, that's... well, that's actually a fantastic opportunity for us to use our cavalry. There is no need to be concerned here. We can basically shoot them at our leisure. Go after stuff like the Uruk Reavers, because they will get absolutely devastated. You two can go after Uruk-hai archers. Right, well that's not what we want at all. hell out of here with our Galathrams. There goes their artillery. Again, very bizarre.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Centre mass. When are you next posting a replay? That will be on Saturday. Saturdays and Mondays are replay days, Wednesdays and Thursdays are stream days. At least that's how I've got it organised at the moment. Seems to work out best. I don't know what it is, but they always seem to overshoot the artillery shots. What are they doing? They're getting shot. You know what? Just get all. We don't even need our infantry on the front line, do we? Not really. Let's get them back over here. There's no. They can't get into the settlement anymore unless they go back for their rams. Yeah, our catapult's taking damage. That's a little bit of a shame. Guess this is what having a lot of archers will give you. I am a little bit disappointed with the ability of Lothlorien's archers to deal damage, if I'm being honest. Like, I feel as though the usefulness of Lothlorien's archers is a little bit overinflated. Right. You can actually go back as well. They're just not all that, if I'm being honest. I don't think so, Val. I think it just interrupts their flow.
If we continue like this, we will smash
I ordered you to retreat as well. I know you got 3 gold chevrons, but maybe it's worth actually at this point maybe letting them in, just so they move forward and actually advance. So at the moment they're not doing a great deal, and they are actually proving to be a little bit awkward to deal with. Get close to the walls. What are they shooting at? No, 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 no. Right, here we go. There we go. Nice shots. Nice hits. Okay. Let's just wait for them to run out of ammo, I guess. This is by far the biggest stack they have remaining, so there we go. They're not actually doing that much damage to us now. They're having to arc their shots either. Yeah, we've done a lot of damage to their raiders. It'll make them easier to deal with when we do eventually have to go into melee. These guys are supposed to hide anywhere, but they don't seem to want to do that. Right, yeah, you go backwards as well. How much ammo do these guys have? I ran dry on ammo far quicker than they did. I know I depleted them a lot, but come on now. Okay. Still have Orofin. We can get into position. Right. And whew. Where are you map-wise? This is Onodirith, which is like the northern centre of Rohan. Or what used to be Rohan, at any rate. Go after the Uruk Reavers, actually. More worthwhile. Yeah, they get absolutely chunked by archers because they only wear light leather. Okay. Was off for a bit. How is the battle going? Slow, but ultimately it will be sure. Right. What else have we got? Yeah, we've got these boys. And these boys, which we're going to send out that way. Where are they going now? Well, okay then. That's a weird choice, but okay. They're less important as well. Let's send them out. And you. And what is that? Reavers? Rubbish. And what else can we send out there to give a hand?
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
No, we don't really need anything else, really, do we? Well, maybe we can send them to the front line ready. Right. You two. I'm gonna get ready to shoot with them. They're already starting to waver. It's a little bit embarrassing, boys, I've got to say, for you. They're already routing, actually. Get after them. This unit of Spear Guard is going to get introduced to both my units of Gorvaleg as soon as they get into range.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Yeah, here we go. Right, this should be devastation for the Spear Guard. You would hope. Ah, look at that manpower plummet. That's what I like to see. Go on, break. One more volley. Yes. There we go. That'll be enough to finish them. Or it should. Oh Jesus, what are you doing all out on your lonesome? There's quite a lot of enemy forces there. No need to worry. Uruk Reavers But can we not get hung up on random garbage? Nice charge. Get in there. They're routing. Good. They're going to rout anyway. To the point where it's going to be more worthwhile to actually use our ammunition on that unit of Uruk-hai infantry by far. Haven't lost any generals just yet. Okay. J-Monster's here, is he? I can only see the last 2 messages in this chat. Actually, I can see up to 4 as long as they're in quick succession. Is J-Monster among us? What have we got here? Get a little bit closer. You can go in there. He is streaming. Oh, is he? He must be. He's doing his sort of coaching newer players thing lately. I noticed. He's got more patience than I have. I'll say that. Yeah, that's the beginning of the end for them. Well, that is the end for them. You kill them. You give a hand against them, I guess. Actually, it's more dangerous at this point to use the Gorvaleg. There we go. Just the Uruk-hai infantry remaining. Taking a surprising amount of damage there, Caliborn and his Berio. That's exactly what I was expecting, but... Speaking of Reforged, do you ever play with fans? I wouldn't stream Reforged at the moment because I don't think my internet would be sufficient for it. At least not to the extent that people would want me to stream it. That's the reason why I'm streaming single player exclusively at the moment. The enemy's walls? Excuse you? I think you'll find they are my walls. And what's shooting at the moment? Whoa, 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 whoa. Stop this. Stop this at once. Halt this madness. What else have we got going on? There's a unit over here that we can chase down. Very nice. And you. I'm emotionally invested in this campaign. Yeah, it's been quite the ride, hasn't it? Punished Caliborn, a man without his trees. What is that? They're just running around after Uruk-hai infantry. Fair enough. What's going on over here? Still units for you to chase. 4 whole Uruk-hai archers. We need to stop this farce immediately. He is just giving you the runaround. There we go. And then there's just some units down here, which, yeah, he's gonna run away down the road. I don't have a Discord of my own, no, Manus.
Victory worthy of only the mightiest of generals.
The reason behind that is I feel as though, because a lot of what I do is bound up in communities that already exist, it wouldn't make sense to fragment it. Because you would start dividing people up into subgroups at that point, and that would be less helpful, I think. I think it would be more useful to just sort of continue to be a part of the big discords, because then you keep the communities big.
They will not see us in the forest.
Execute all of them. Yeah, that was their big stack, and we didn't lose that much, and we've got reinforcements on the way. Right, speaking of which though, we surely have units that can combine, and we do. Combine those spears. You can now get in there. Giving us more arrows, and yes indeed. We shall save it there. And we shall continue. Onodirith is not going to be a profitable settlement for us for a while, because I think it's going to be a battleground. Because the way we're going to try and take Rohan is by going along the top of the White Mountains. So we'll go for... We're going to go for Edoras. There's a fort there as well, which I think we'll want to take. Then there's Helm's Deep. And then we can go for Gainard. Honestly, what would be ideal is if the ring would spawn in Orthanc just as I'm about to take it. That's the wrong settlement. Why can't you say take Edoras next? Right, Oldberg, there's one more turn until that armory is complete. You get in there. Hold on a second. Yes, we've got another little force here. We're building units all over the place at this point. Yes, this is another nice little force that we're going to start sending southwards. Another full unit of March Wardens. Might be worth just putting them right into Entwade, to be honest. Because they're, like, I think, to be honest, even with... Well, actually, hold on. We'll combine a few units. We'll combine one unit, I should say. And we'll get a unit of horse archers in here, because that is useful to be able to sally out and attack around Onodirith. The rest of them, however, can go to Entwade. Can we retrain? Nope. To the surprise of absolutely no one. Right, and this gives us a bit of an opportunity as well to spend some money elsewhere. I think we're already building buildings in most places that we can. Right, roads would definitely be useful here, because we're still needing to train stuff in Amon Lank. Good night, Val. Yeah, Rohan is destroyed, Mika. But we shall avenge them. I mean, bless them, they weren't very good in this campaign. They really dropped the ball, but in their memory we shall wipe... Like, this is incorrect. We can't be seeing the White Hand banner. Look at this, look, there's an independent fort there with no garrison. That's weird. Surprised Isengard haven't snapped that up. Right, we're building stuff there. We have got... Well, we can build something else here. Can we build anything that's actually useful, though? Because like, all we really need is... A blacksmith would be useful, to be fair, because all we're ever going to use these like outer settlements to build is basic units. So we do need to be a little bit choosy with what we're actually building. Right, a market's being built there. We're not building anything in Dorlingvar at the moment, so what can we go for? There's really nothing that's worth it there until we upgrade the settlement, because that is just an economy settlement. There's no point building anything way over there. Can we build anything else in Onodirith? We can upgrade it. I mean, that probably wouldn't be the worst idea at this point, because I really don't intend to be losing it anytime soon, so let's go for it. Okay, just in case. Oh yeah, we have a spy, don't we? Yeah, we do. Right, let's go over here, just to keep an eye on the northern border. We've got a spy there as well. Okay. Right, what sort of army is this? Just a shocking one. Like, you actually sicken me with how you have decided to... They're not sending their A-game my way, are they? Anymore? The occasional, like, big stack, I think, of mediocre Isengard units is probably the biggest threat we have at this point. Which says a lot about how far we've come. Right. Flaming shots. Everything else can be deployed in behind. So we've got some cav, more horse archers, which they have been useful. I'm glad I actually took the Mirkwood path, because there's no way I would have been able to afford the Bury O Yengalith at the height of my plight. So I'm glad that we went the Mirkwood route, because all of the units that we've got from them have definitely proven their worth. Yep. You lot, we've got some good Sentinels of Keren Amroth in there as well. Lothlorien archers, you can just stay back here also. Crossbow man. Sickening. Still surprised you survived the invasion script, the amount of battles in one turn on the same bridge. Yeah, it was... I mean, to be fair, I probably should have lost the campaign there. It was bloody-mindedness and stubbornness that made it so that I am still here, fighting on. Interesting to see what sort of damage these horse archers can do. Time is it now? Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get us into a position where we can, next time around, that it could be the moment for us in this campaign. The moment dot trademark, where Isengard, the trail of dead Uruk-hai. They're heading towards the corner, and then immediately they'll think, hang on a minute, we don't have range superiority. What are we doing? Absolute mad lads. Oh, the dog's barking. Someone must have come back. Warg Marauders, Uruk-hai archers. The crossbows are the most heavily armoured, and that's what our horse archers are firing at the moment, but I'm sure it's fine. We're still in range. The range of the elven archers is definitely a big plus point. Even if they do more limited damage against a faction like Isengard, it's still so worth bringing them. J Monster is streaming now as well. Yep, that has... I have been made aware. Is it the new player coaching that he's doing again, or is it just regular games? Yes, this is good. This is what we need to be seeing. It's an anniversary thing. Oh yes, Silmarillion's... It's 1 year since Silmarillion was sort of first... since it first arrived. Ooh, that was unfortunate for them. Actually, with that news, with wargs moving forward, let's just target them, because we don't want them firing in. It would be fairly typical if the artillery were to get friendly fire. war cavalry should fall away pretty quickly, to be honest, but you never can tell. There we go. I do very much like the way that Silmarillion is going. Let's get some infighting in and amongst them. These wargs are very stubborn. The damage. No, don't turn your back. Bloody skirmish mode. Don't die, Orifin. There he is. I mean, that's definitely going to be the end of whatever it was they intended to do.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy. The enemy general abandons his...
Right. Shoot them up. Right, enough of this with the artillery at this point. Oof, that did a lot of damage to our horse archers. This probably wasn't efficient, to be honest. To be fair, I'm probably doing most of that damage to my own men with friendly fire. Alright, enough of this. Let's just get into melee with Celeborn. Celeborn is arguably better in melee, I would say. He's so tanky. And he's so much better than anything that is really going to be seen against him. Yeah, go after them. No matter. Going to take some point blank shots. That's something annoying about Total War, how with hybrid units, if you send them to charge in by alting them, they'll charge up to the enemy before changing their weapons, which makes their charge like really awkward. But we're going to be just fine here. Surely that's the end of them. And what else have we got going on? Yeah, just shoot them up. Very surprised they're still fighting, actually. They may actually be broken and fighting to the death at this stage. No, they are still fighting. Remarkable. Made a mountain of a molehill in this battle a little bit, but oh well. All of our important stuff is still alive. And we'll be able to go back to the settlement to dig in. What have we got going on down here? See, they're still fighting. The hardy Uruk-hai indeed. I think we're just going to end up shooting them to death. Now they're broken. Now we can get into position to just shoot them from all angles. There we go. You guys go back, and there we go. More foul Uruk-hai slain. We'll take stock of what the situation is after this turn, because we might be on the verge of being able to move forward to make a play for Edoras. And Edoras would be a really nice place to have, because that would be a lot more money for us. Good to have a city. Yeah, we'll execute that. It's a shame that they wanted us to take Gynard next, the council. Back in there. So one more turn. I think we've done everything we can already, haven't we? Yes. Nope, don't want to load game. I swear doing replays has made me paranoid about crashes. This might give everyone else on the other side of the Misty Mountains the impotence they need to clear Enidwaith of Isengard as well. We can only hope. Yeah, it's a decent little force they're building up there again, but again, that's what we expected. They're hiding in the trees. I'm not going to be baited out this time. I can see an army on the other side of Edoras there, but it stood in the river, puzzlingly. The chieftain of the Dunlendings is dead, so that's a sign that Khazad-dûm are continuing to pummel Dunland into the dirt, which is good. That's what we want to see. Isengard still very much in control over here. It's gonna... I highly doubt that, my friend. You're a farmer if you're in the Bree army. Anyway. Right, Aldberg, what can we build here? We've got an armory. Well, actually, I think this... In all likelihood, this actually is probably the best place to leave it for next time, because it gives me a clear idea of what needs to be happening. There are still units, and I will save it here. So I think actually at the start of this turn is where we will leave it for today. So next time around, this is our primary goal, Edoras. I think, to be honest, tomorrow we should probably be able to push all the way to Helm's Deep and possibly Gynard. In an ideal world, tomorrow we might... This is maybe being a little bit too optimistic considering how this campaign has gone so far. But maybe we can force Isengard over the Isen. If we can get all the way over here toward Foldberg, then Isengard are pretty much done. I think honestly it's probably just a matter of time for them at this point anyway, because I feel confident at this point that they're not going to be able to push back against us. The one thing that may yet do us in is this, because this I know is Mordor. If Mordor managed to kill Harad off, their Doomstack spawn, and it's not enough to stop them, then Mordor could decide instead of Dorwinion they could try and go after us. That would be a bit more of a problem. But we'll see. I don't think they will. Harad have done reasonably well at this point. Dorwinion are still the main concern for Mordor, so we can continue to do our thing at our leisure, as it were. Yeah, definitely Lewis. If we can take Edoras, Helm's Deep. I mean, especially here, I think Orthanc and Eisenrun, these are the two main Isengard towns at this stage, I would think. So if we were to take them, they'd be done. Taking Orthanc, of course, means that we can recruit Ents as well. So that's worth saying. Rockburg has been a bit of a disappointment. It's been the site of so many battles, it hasn't really been allowed to flourish. But maybe we can get Ents the old-fashioned way. Regardless, I will just save it. I think I saved it anyway, but nonetheless, I will save it there. So like I said, the next stream, it will be... I'm not going to toggle now, Ricky. We toggle at the end of every part, and I think part of it is sort of the Great Unknown is a good part of this. And I think, especially as it pertains to Harad, Mordor and Dorwinion, that's really the Great Unknown at this point. And I think we'll keep it. I will do the toggle FOW at the end of tomorrow's part. But for now, we're going to leave it in suspense. We're going to leave the fog of war on. But yeah, so like I said, tomorrow a stream around the same sort of time. So it'll start between 1:30 and 2 in the afternoon GMT. And the next two videos, there'll be a replay out on Saturday, which I think is going to be another 8-way free-for-all, so sort of round 2, which those 8-way free-for-alls are so chaotic, it's always a good watch. And following on from that, there is a siege, I believe, of an updated version of Grimslade, which I think Captain Gervais made. So that's going to be the one on Monday. So that's the immediate future. And further on, of course, like I said, Wednesday, Thursday streams, Saturday, Monday. That's what I intend to make my regular schedule for the time being, unless university interrupts that, which I don't actually think it will. And even if it does, it'll only be sort of for one day, and that's easy to move around. Hey Nathan, never commented, but watched tons of my videos. Thank you. That's very nice. So yeah, I think that will give us that will take us to the end of the stream. So yeah, big thank you to everyone who's tuned in today. Hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you'll join me, whatever is next.